you think that if aliens showed up,
oh no,
and every single country allied, everything's water under the bridge, literally every country, North Korea's on board, China's on board, US is on board, everyone, do you think the Earth has any shot in any scenario?
Yes, absolutely.
You think so?
Any scenario? Surely.
So if they need,
I just mean like if they got there to us, like we didn't reach out to them. They're
here.
Show up.
They're here and they're mad. It depends what they want and how they want to do it. If they want to just destroy us, then we lose. But if they want our planet unscathed, if their biology is similar enough to us that they can't use their death rays and ruin our planet because they want to live here, if they got to come down here and fight us, then we win, depending on their numbers. If they sent one ship, I've seen this scenario played out, interestingly enough, in one of those war graphics YouTube channels. And they played this thing out, how generations of humans would be fighting the war against the first.
Yeah.
And they set it up so that like the ship took like 25 years to get here. So even though the first war we might win or be winning, we're on that clock for the second wave. But I think if they invade and do it like that, then yeah, we could put quite a fight.
Maybe.
It's like
it would depend on the physiology.
Song?
No, I don't know that song.
He's like, what would it be like if we met aliens? Do you ever think about that? And he's like, what? You never think about it? Like, would they just come down here and dominate us, or would it be like, damn, Earth go hard?
Maybe they would just say Earth go hard, but yeah, it would also depend on. They would in that scenario you talked about. I bet they had a contingency where it's like they are of similar size to us biologically, and they have similar strength. Like if they pop here and they're like. Yeah, like if they're like, let's say they're all a head shorter than us, but they're like dwarves from Lord of the Rings strength and like have thicker, they have talons and fangs instead of like, then we'd be fucked. Like
Isn't
if
it
a
all about
1v1
weapon systems though? Like
we have to assume we're losing any weapon system 1-to-1 matchup because they're already
like to kill them though, right? Like if they're too tough to hurt and maim, and
they have to be like humanoid.
What if you shot one and he healed like a goddamn chameleon before your eyes?
Right.
It's gonna be hard to fight that Iraqi style, Afghani style roadside bomb,
what
IED
would be
terrorist fight.
You know, it would be kind of like really make us feel good. What if we're the like giant terrifying species and like aliens show up and they're like, fuck, these things are like 1,000.
They have weapons.
Zigmar feet tall.
I got it. They don't even have a word for weapon. And
we
win that one.
I was thinking on a related note, like what if their weapon system evolved in such a way that they weren't that good at us? Like they just made their idea of a weapon system was a really profound low-pitched sound. And we're all like, and?
That's interesting.
We're solid.
That's really obnoxious.
The fart people are here. They're gaseous. They're just gas in these little bubbles. Oh, look, the fart people are here. Guys, look out! They're gonna try to blow us away again.
Yeah, right. Like that. Like,
they've escaped
the vacuum.
There's no scarcity in their world, so they don't understand the need to lie. So we just manipulate the fuck out of them. No, for sure. Keep
Three Body Problem does that.
Yeah.
It's real interesting. They're able to read minds, but they can't lie. So now we need to lie to them, even though they can read your mind, and we need to you need to lie in such a way that no one knows you're lying, even you. Mm-hmm. And it gets pretty clever.
Yeah. No, I love those scenarios. It would be. That's been one of my things I've always wished is that we would meet aliens. I want to know what they look like or what they are. Even if I bet they'd be horrific looking. I
was going to say that. Taylor's like, wouldn't it be great if we were the big, strong ones? And I was like, well, regardless, we're going to be the ones that conform to our beauty standards.
Yes.
We will definitely think they're ugly, almost for sure.
Oh, there'll be a whole bunch of fetishists who are like, oh, those worm people turn me on. They've been jerking up to tentacle porn their whole lives, and the worm people show up. Oh, they're going to be...
Right.
All of Japan.
Just like the fang bangers in True Blood, the chicks who want to bang vampires are called fang bangers. And you can see why they'd choose a fanged man over a non-fanged man. They just have
you can give them immortality. You can't get an erection though.
No,
no blood.
It's like infinite stamina, and they fuck so fast it's an actual blur.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Yeah,
think that'd be good.
That's how women like to be fucked.
Right?
They love it. You just totally
Good
ignore
point.
them and you go super speed.
It makes a Taylor. It makes a sound like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Collecting
What,
coins.
No, like when he's charging,
Yeah.
yeah, spinning in place.
Yeah.
That's Mario with the
Man,
flower.
these guys sound
You hear
cool.
like as they like when he comes, all the bells come out of the coins,
or the star.
Yeah.
stars.
No, that's how
No, you're doing
women give sex advice the same way Woody does at haircuts. Faster's better.
And point me
I
at the
lost
TV.
the ear.
Yeah, point me at the TV and cut my hair. Quickly, quick on! What the
No,
fuck is
but
that?
they are
Bronson?
generally they're very good looking. The vampires in True Blood, and they're supposed to be super et sex.
Yeah.
There's
for
very
sure.
little
But
vampire lore that doesn't have them on one side. Either like Nosferatu, very obviously ghoulish and scary, or they're like actively more attractive than everyone around them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, there are some regular people vampire. Remember, there was like an accountant.
there was that one chubby guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
live forever.
shit. Wait, he became a vampire as a fat guy?
Yeah, and he's all depressed.
He's fat
about
forever now.
It. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It was.
You know
pretty sad.
another
And he was
one?
gay.
There was a
Idiot.
hot chick who became a vampire, and she was a virgin.
Oh,
And then she lost her virginity as a vampire, and it healed up like her hymen. And she's like, every time I have sex for the rest of my eternal life, I'm gonna break my hymen. Like, this blows.
I mean, like, their like Big Brother system for getting into the vampire world really should fill them in on that stuff. Like, baseline,
Yeah,
there's no
no.
excuse for like if
There
you
are
were to
complications.
if you were to be vampirized, you would put every ounce of your effort into being the perfect
Oh.
version of yourself at the point of a bite. Everyone who's smart would. Can you imagine committing to eternal life with like
I would get as close
a
as
big gut?
close as possible to Kyle's Tinder profile.
Like, now you're
It's forever.
dehydrated for all eternity. Like,
I'm always so thirsty.
I'm so thirsty.
This is a huge mistake.
Yeah, that's what it's like being a vampire. You don't understand. I turned. I was dehydrated.
I don't even
Yeah,
want the
dude,
blood.
you're
I was
shredded. Look at
I just need water.
I'm so thirsty.
you're so vascular. Look at your foot veins. Oh, they hurt though. Your foot veins ever hurt? That's how you know you've
never.
gone too far.
Do I have?
My feet have always been like vascular though. I feel like feet always have veins popping out because they're working hard.
I can't
right?
see them for the hair.
You can't. You got some.
You have really hairy
your feet aren't too hobbity. You have long hair on your toes.
Yeah, I shave them both. I run my like trimmer over my feet and my toes because they're fucking gross. They don't grow like a ton of hair, but it does. There's like some hair there. That's too much. I think I had a slam for Mexico. Oh yeah, your fake aliens are so fake. You're like the Mexican version of fake aliens.
What was that about,
Like
anyway?
it's so embarrassing. Like,
I saw that video. What was that?
they're
You
still
weren't fooled,
claiming that's
Wendigoon?
real and presenting
way.
new evidences. They fucking X-rated them or like they ran through a fucking scanner.
The two little
MRI.
plaster little guys.
What, like
They're
a metal
like this
detector at the
fucking
airport?
tall. Yes, it looks like Mini-Me's skeleton, and they're like running it through an MRI, a Mexican MRI. Jesus Christ! And then claiming that they're real and that they've got
Mexican
aliens,
resonance
and
imaging.
I like to
It's
think
not
they don't
nearly as
have like
good as-
40-year-old
Yeah, it's terrible.
technology. Imagine a Mexican X-ray. Do they have those?
it's Mexican resonance imaging. Let me take a good look.
That's an alien.
That's what they pulled out of Wings when he got his surgery down there.
Oh my
Just doing
God,
that.
that's what it was. That's his calcified twin.
Yeah.
That was Donnie. He was the good one.
Johnny.
Ada in
Those
utero.
Yeah, did-
aliens
did
look
you have
so
people-
fucking stupid and fake. Your skeleton behind you right now legitimately looks far more realistic as like
Sexier.
a fake body
Than that
used to
alien
live.
they brought forward. Yeah.
Get
Did
the
you have
fuck outta
people in
here.
your community, Wendigoon, being like, do a deep dive on the alien?
When
It's
that,
like-
that you remember that Senate hearing that happened, like I want to
Yes.
say it was last month sometime, and that you guys may have talked about it on the show, but when that dude was up there, like there's what do you say, non-human remains recovered in the ship or whatever, that guy, that whole thing.
Yeah.
My mentions for like a week straight were nothing but, why aren't you covering this? What's your problem? Do you know something we don't? Why aren't you talking about it? And it was literally just a guy, like a dude who worked on a military base. He's like, a friend of a friend of a friend mentioned that might be aliens, you know? You ever think of it that way? And everyone's like, oh, the government's confirming they're aliens. It's like, I don't know if you've ever talked to someone who works in government, but they're not God. Like, there's a pretty high area of a error chance with things that they say. So it was just some guy. But yeah, the Mexican one, I still am having trouble believing, because I've seen those videos. I'm like, I'm getting punked. There's something wrong here, because it's literally like plaster ETs, like this big. I don't know.
It looks like
fake and so fake looking. If they had just shown me like a big weird octopus thing that didn't even make any sense, and they'd been like, look at this, it had a glove on, or like, look at this, it has when in the X-ray you could see like it had implants or something around its brain. Be like, oh shit, what is that thing? And this is a fossil. What? But they showed me those little Halloween store guys that look so fake that I know that a high school class could duplicate it or improve upon it.
That wouldn't even
any
be
special effects group could make something so much better looking. I saw this fake Russian video of an alien once, and it was supposedly like dead in the snow, like fresh, and like the leg was gone. So you saw like inside of it like flesh. And I was like, that could be real. I mean, I know it's not real, but like, that's what a real one would look like, maybe. You know, I don't know what the inside of an alien looks like, but I'm buying that that's what it is, because I can see like muscles and bone and sinew. They used an animal in the making of whatever they did. Like,
that looks more realistic than the one they had at the Mexican government.
My alien's better than theirs. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Woody set that hillside behind me there on fire one time.
I did.
How'd you set it on fire?
I was shooting I was trying to shoot a paint can with a shotgun that had dragon's breath in it, so that the paint can would catch fire. And the dragon's breath was landing in the field back there. And I knew that I was making little fires, but I thought they'd be easily stomped out.
Yeah.
I may have overestimated the difference between the fires and my cardio, because it was a challenge. And it was hot. And I'm running from fire to fire.
Right.
The fires are growing, right? Once a fire gets to a certain size, it becomes a real problem. And
that's a great
is that from Glenn Beck's wave? Glenn Beck ran a fucking article about me on how I was an irresponsible gun owner.
That piece of shit, Glenn Beck.
Anyway, I think Kyle eventually came up with that cooler that had water in it, because what was happening when fire gets to a certain size, it gets really hard to put out.
Yeah.
So, that wasn't me. So I would stomp it down to like 80% gone, like down to 20% of its previous size, and then move on to the next one. Why did I take it to 0? Well, the next one was getting too big to handle. So I was just sort of playing whack-a-mole. They all sort of grew back up. And once we got water involved, they stayed put out.
After that, I started bringing... my dad has a PTO powered sprayer for his tractor. It's a big tank. It's hundreds of gallons, maybe 300, maybe 500. And you've got a wand, and it makes a ton of pressure and shoots forever. So we just use that thing as a fire truck after that. No matter how big of a fire you made, you could put it out with that thing. There's no problem. What about the events that Fire in the Sky are based on? That logger from Oregon or wherever who was disappeared for multiple days, 3 to 5 or something. All of his buddies saw the light. They were all out there working, logging. He got separated, went to investigate the light, goes missing days later naked, and passed the polygraph for whatever that means, you know.
Yeah.
But still passed it, and says he was abducted by aliens and they did gruesome experiments on him.
So that's another one of those cases that's kind of like, yeah, I mean, whatever you think. Like, it's such bizarre circumstances, I can't pin it down. I haven't researched that one the way I would like a video topic, because I haven't made it. But from what little I do know about that case, my idea around it was always either an intense psychosis, like from him, like maybe maybe he decided to fake the lights in order to trick his friends and then like make up this whole story or whatever, either out of some level of wants to be famous, I guess, or psychosis, like I said. But even then, that's exactly. Come on.
When you
like,
say
that's
fake,
pushing it.
when you say fake the lights, what is? Can you backfill me?
Like
with
I
the
got a
story?
little experience in pyrotechnics and such. I'd have a hard time fooling y'all that the aliens were over the hill.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So in this story, there were alien lights, or supposed alien lights that people claim to have seen.
Oh yeah, Kyle knows.
Like multiple
Again, I haven't researched it well. Kyle probably knows
There
the
was
details better
a
than I do.
bright light over the hill, like a blinding light that they didn't want to investigate because all the other grown men were afraid. And this guy's like, ho, 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 and runs off and doesn't show up for days. And when he comes back, he's like naked in a phone booth somewhere calling 911. But yeah.
The aliens are incredibly sexually aggressive.
They were. If you watch that scene, it's so upsetting because they're very matter-of-factly like, it's like when you see the crocodile hunter with an animal, like, oh, look at this, fucking measure, staple this through its fucking ear. Yeah, they don't feel pain like we do. Fucking roll him over. Let's shove a finger or two up his ass. See what? Yeah, it's the cloaca. Yeah, yeah, she's almost ready. yeah. Did you wash your hands? Fuck it. Roll her over.
You're like being peeled alive on an alien table, screaming, and they're like, "That's just air releasing from its lung." They just feel a sense of pressure, like a fish. You're just stop that, and it's like, wow.
See how it's all high pitched like that? Yeah, that's air escaping. They breathe it. Yeah, I know.
And then the big inhale, that's air escaping back in. For another escape.
It escapes the other way. Now that scene in the movie is one of the scariest movie scenes ever. Like it's terrifying.
It's one thing for someone to have you and want to inflict pain on you because they understand it, but to be kidnapped by something that doesn't even have the concept of pain, that's just there and treating you like another, like, I don't know, like a chunk of aluminum to be ored out, or like an animal to be weighed and measured and cataloged. It's real scary. And the actor. And so the aliens don't look like super realistic or anything, but they're scary. They're scary to look at. Like they have those, it's the traditional gray aliens with the big heads and everything, but something about them is more predatory and mean, for lack of a better word. It's like they're aggressively, like at one point he's like, "Arr!" And one of them's like, oh yeah, give me a handful of this brown muck to shove into its mouth. And he's just like,
okay, well that's not even science. Can you imagine if you had
science
a lemur,
we can't understand.
If you had like a lemur on a table that you're torturing, and you're like, we need to get the information from this lemur's biology and its metrics, and it's just like, and you're just like, nah, that's obnoxious. Put this Quickcrete in its mouth. Shut it up. Like, no, now it's not even science anymore. That's just that's just Saw 6. Like when they really lost the plot.
That's just mean. That's all that is.
I like the idea that to the lemur, a syringe, they're just like, he's just poking us with a sharp stick over and over. Like they don't see any scientific benefit to you stabbing them over and over. So when the thing like puts a handful of axle grease in his mouth, which is what it looks like. It's like, it's like they have no idea that this is this is magical axle grease. It tells us everything you need to know about a human.
10 out of 10 lemurs hate having their eyelids cut off and mascara smeared into it.
We had to know if it was going to stick.
There are so many like machines
Just
like
pull
that as
burn
humans
out.
we make just for fuckery, right? Like I saw that English guy who's got that Iron Man suit he built. He's basically got jet engines on his hands, and he's just like, he's going 30 miles an hour, flying around a field and like landing at will, and it looks like tactical. I guess it's black and it has like shoulder pads and shit. And they were calling it an Iron Man suit. But then I think about those guys in Dubai who are jetting around.
Yeah, and they're like powered wingsuits.
I saw that this kind of leads me to my next little topic, and it's about like, I wonder if like if there are intelligent aliens out there, like, did they engage in this kind of fuckery? Like, is this a thing that's unique to the mammalian brain on this planet? Is this a thing that's unique to just the primate brain on this planet? Is this a thing that's unique to just the Homo sapien, that we have this thrill-seeking thing
I hope
and this
they do
and
engage
this
in
triumph
fuckery, and that's
this,
how they
this
find
thing
us.
that wants to win?
Like they
I
don't
do-
come in
there you
these
go,
giant spaceships from Independence Day. It's just a couple of space surfers zipping around on their little boards, like
Dude, I
finding
told you
Earth.
not to put that much kryptonite in there.
Dude,
You
like,
shot us all the way to the Milky Way. Fuck.
if they
These
were
are
like a
dirt
super
people.
advanced civilization and like some paper boy like got off course and showed up in his like hovercraft, like if I were that paper boy and I noticed a civilization that I knew I could dupe, I would just go down there and be like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo." And I've come to speak with your leaders, and like anybody on that guy's home planet are like, they're talking to fucking Marvin. Are you kidding me? Marvin? He's the paperboy loser. He can't even do calculus in his head. Like, and then
If you
you
think
could just
about
run
it,
shit.
that
If I would do-
scenario, if you think about it, that scenario makes a lot more sense to explain Jesus Christ than him, actually being a magical baby that God himself created, right? That it was some paper boy who crash landed here and was like, oh, well, yeah, water to wine, whatever. But like, if you could get me out of here, that'd be great. I really want to go back to my dad. Well, he's God. He kind of created everything. That's how you'd think of him. He's in the sky. I got to get back to him, though. That's my point. Well, yeah, you guys just get along with each other. Why are you always fighting? Look, peace, love, harmony. Like, this isn't hard. Come on, guys. But really, I want to go back to my father. And then they fucking nailing him up in the cross. And he's like, what the fuck have I got myself into? Like, maybe that's what happened.
What did they think I said?
I told you
These
not
people are
to.
So I saw that-
furious.
I saw that anonymous. It was someone said WikiLeaks said, but I don't think that's true. When WikiLeaks said something, I believe it more aptly than I would if Fox News said it. I don't think WikiLeaks is in the habit of releasing fake stories, are they? Like, has that ever happened?
They
That like
post all this
WikiLeaks
shit.
said a thing and then it
You
came out
read
that like, no, that's a fabrication or a falsehood.
I can't.
Like,
think
that
of
doesn't
it
happen.
happening.
I can't
So when
think of-
WikiLeaks says something, I kind of believe it. But this was anonymous. Anonymous claims that they have hacked information that proves that NASA is aware of the existence of extraterrestrial life. So that was the story that came out yesterday, I think it was.
I don't
and so
buy
that-
that.
Is it intelligent life? Do we know that?
Flat, like period, after what I said. And that leads me to have that whole conversation. Oh, did they find one single fossilized cell in a rock that,
Right.
it's from somewhere? Or did they find like the correct amino acid signature? Or did they find like a silicon life form that's like nothing that would
Or
even exist
radio
on our,
wave?
or a radio wave? Did they find like a
yeah.
binary signal from another fucking world that can be decoded and read and interpreted in some way? Like, all of those things would be interesting.
I don't think I don't think NASA would hide life in space just because like they
They'd get so much
They're-
funding
they're-
if they didn't.
yeah, their thing is always like we can't even afford to build another $2 billion rocket, and they're like, we need your money, and like all they'd have to release would be like, hey, fucking space lizards, who's gonna become a Patreon? And then they'd be like, oh yeah, well I guess I'll give my fucking $5 a month as long as I get exclusive space lizard pics. Like that's exactly what would happen. That would be their best move ever. Is if they revealed there was life, suddenly everybody in the world, for the most part, would be on board with like, all right, well, let's spend a little more money and see what this is,
I would definitely. So I think it would change my point of view on a lot of things. It would prove what I believe, because I believe that there is life. I don't believe there's necessarily intelligent life that's ever been here, and I because of the vast distances. And it's not something that I've come up with. It's just like that's what all the smart people say, right? So I don't know about that, but like there could totally be some sort of like fishes or tadpoles swimming around in one of those warm oceans that exist in our own solar system on one of those moons,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there has to be life out there, right? There's just so many planets, so many suns, so much space. There's got to be life out there. There's probably intelligent life out there. I just feel like if there's a 1 in a million chance of a planet sustaining intelligent life, well, there's millions and millions of planets, so there's intelligent.
There's just enough planets. It just seems
Yeah.
like there's so
But
goddamn
I'm
many.
with Kyle too, where he says, "I don't think intelligent life has come to visit us," and I agree with that.
And vice versa. Yeah, it's just although think about like how quickly we've advanced, traveling from one continent to another not very long ago was also probably thought of the same way. If you told some guy in the year 80 who just built the Colosseum, this incredible thing that like, we need you to cross that ocean. No, not that little pond you call the Mediterranean, the Atlantic. You got to cross the Atlantic and you got to go over there to another. No one will ever cross the Great Ocean. Like maybe it's just a matter of a couple more 100 years of human evolution. It seems like
I look right now and think, man, the people 500 years ago missed a lot of amazing, cool stuff. The things we're doing now would blow them away.
Yeah.
That could very well be what people think of us in a few
Yeah.
hundred years. That
Of
or
course,
their
that-
cell phones just get bigger.
And then, but then, if that's
Both are
true,
possible.
there's the thing. It's like, why has no one visited us yet? Like, are we? And there's a bunch of reasons that could make that happen. Like, maybe there's some sort of Star Trek system, like a prime directive, where they don't mess with little middling civilizations that haven't risen to the level of interstellar travel. Like they don't want to mess with our evolutionary path and throw their
Or it could
baggage
be
on us.
that we're just the most like that. All these other planets that we're discovering of like, hey, that one could maybe have life, I guess, perhaps. I don't know. It's not a rocky piece of shit moon, so there's that. Like, we don't have a sense of perspective because we don't know any living things on any other planets. Like, what if it is that Earth really is like the fucking best possible setup for this to have worked out? Like, there were tons of petri dishes all over the place, and ours is the one that's gotten the furthest, like with internet.
That's the
and
cool
with
thing about
planes
that.
and shit. Like, who knows? That might be it. There's like, is it more likely that that's the case, or that there's super advanced Rick and Mortys out there? Like, both of them seem equally implausible.
That's the cool thing about those radio telescopes. I didn't really understand how they worked for a long time, but it's about the spectrum of light that they're capturing, and so if something is a certain color, it's because it's composed of a certain element, and certain element, and so they can tell by looking at something what it's made out of. So they have these things called the planets that are like Earth, that are the correct size, that the gravity would be
Class
would
M
similar.
planets.
Well, in Star Trek they call them that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I like that. Right?
I
Yeah,
think in science they call them Earth-like.
yeah, these Earth-like planets that are that are in that Goldilocks
I've heard
zone.
that. Yeah.
We're all yeah.
where liquid water,
Oh,
they're the correct distance from their star so that liquid water can exist. But there's so many of them. They just announced they found like 15 more, right? Like they're constantly finding them with the new telescopes that they've got.
What if
I
they
don't
don't
know.
even need
Telescopes
water?
suck.
What if other forms of life are like drinking methane gas or something, and they're not
That's-
even like corporeal beings? They're like, in the ether somewhere.
Well,
like
when they talk about
gassy.
silicon life
knows?
forms, like that's what they're suggesting. But I like the idea that they wouldn't even have like corporeal forms. That they would either be like in some sort of a just an energy field,
Like, we
charged
wouldn't even
particles
recognize
of
them as
gas.
lives at first. We'd just be like, oh yeah, our tricorders are picking up weird shit. It turns out those are sentient beings.
Yeah, that happens all the time in Star Trek. They'll think it's like a nebula, a gas nebula, like a bunch of charged gas particles, and they'll be like, "Yeah, shoot them with the proton beam #1," and they're like, "Oh shit, sir, we killed them all!" And it's just like it turns out the gas things were alive.
They
or whatever.
call it gassing, and it's sweeping across the country in every high school. Only now NASA scientists are revealing that this gas is actually a form of extraterrestrial life. That explains the extreme high. That is what you're describing, Kyle. And what if we genocided a whole alien race, like just get high on?
I enjoy those a lot. That and the ancient civilization YouTubers, the ones who think that the Earth was we had ancient civilizations that were advanced. Like one of the
Dude,
cool.
what about
That be?
the
younger
Atlantis one where
drive-
it's like the Ring City? Have you seen that one?
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
don't-
haven't seen Ring City.
You don't like
What
that
is it?
one?
Here's why I like the younger Dryas thing, and with the Sphinx in particular. So they looked at where when the sun lines up with the constellation of Leo, was 11,600 years ago, which is when they think the Sphinx was built, like the crackpot scientists think anyway. So they think it was built by a civilization before the Egyptians, and they're like, why would they build a lion? Like during the Egyptian times, it was the bull. It was Taurus was the one in lined up with the path of the sun. But if you go back to when they think that comet struck and caused the Younger Dryas disaster and all that shit, it was Leo. So I thought that was a little interesting tidbit. I don't know.
What
I like
is,
that stuff a lot. I spend a lot of time every morning. I come in here and I drink my coffee, and I spend an hour at least watching YouTube shorts.
What's the most convincing one of those stories about either the Ring, the Atlantis thing, or Göbekli Tepe or whatever that's called, that's actually sucked you in and you've been like, I buy this?
There are some tool marks on the place where they mined the granite for the pyramids, or it's a good distance away, like 100 miles or something away. But there are these tool marks that are kind of weird. You know, it's just like, how do they do that? How were they cutting that out like that? It looks like they've been machined. So that one always sticks out to me more than the crackpot shit. Like, as much as I like Randall Carlson, I've heard him be like, but their technology could have been something completely different than ours. They speak of the priests chanting. So I think maybe an acoustic energy was used to levitate these blocks. And it's like, no, dude.
Yes.
There's a reason why like every group of people came up with bow and arrows dependently. It's that tech makes sense. Like you know what I mean? You're not going to just branch off into magic acoustics instead of electricity or steam power or some shit. So that part's nonsensical to me. And anything ancient aliens is bullshit.
What about Atlantis? Is the story that it's like it's a city that used to be not underwater, now it's all
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, where a guy like using satellite, Google satellites, he found this area. Yeah, is that the one? You used a name that I hadn't heard of. Is that the guy?
Topography. Yeah.
No, the topography I'd heard of, the guy who found like the ring area of Atlantis. I don't know, it was a cool video.
Dr. Indiana Jones.
That's low-key insult dick all night long.
Yeah, so according to the old tales or whatever, like it was a ringed city. So you had these rings of land and then water, repeating for like, I don't know, 3 rings of land or whatever. And I think they found a formation that's like that under the water somewhere. But like, you're going to have to go down there and find some like, I don't know, some marble statues.
Yeah,
or
something neat.
Yeah, I need.
But
to
it's
see
totally
some whoozy
believable
butts
that there's like a city that is now underwater that used to not be.
They
It was
find
in
cities
northern
all the
Africa.
time.
It's on above. I don't know why I'm getting into this stupid.
No, it's in the Mediterranean or something.
Yeah, near the Mediterranean. That's where it should be, or some. I've heard people say in the Atlantic as well. Yeah, that's the idea. I don't know what that is on the left though. That seems like.
That's the Sarlacc pit.
Yes, it is. Oh my God! Can you believe Boba Fett made it out of there? What horseshit! What horseshit!
That is.
By the way, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure if I can beat up Amanda Nunez. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. I know for goddamn sure I can beat up Boba Fett. I could beat the dog shit out of Boba Fett. The actor who plays him, put him in his armor. I don't give a fuck.
Wait, isn't that
old
Pedro
Give him
Pascal?
a blaster.
Don't give him a blaster. I don't know. But that's why I chose Outer Space Aliens for my minority to be
small.
beaten at the end.
Yeah,
I really like the idea of like a coalition of like many colors, like literally like hate criming the outer space alien. And he was a good guy the whole time. He's there to like cure cancer and stuff.
No,
it's like
he
it's more of a
actually
Twilight
was
Zone
stealing.
episode, right? He's what?
He actually
that's the
was
thing.
stealing.
No, or what if, or they kill the alien not because he's an alien, because he's gay. Like that's the twist at the end. Like, all right, so Neptune, huh? And he's like, yeah, me and my husband, we just landed. And they're like, what'd you say, faggot? And they just kill the alien who brought the cure for cancer. I like that bit as well.
Yeah, again, astute social
That is
commentary.
Twilight
We'll
Zone
leave that
episode,
thing.
by the way. So there's a Twilight Zone episode, and instead of all that nonsense I said, it's they think it's a Russian spy because it's during the Cold War. There's a stranger in town. Oh, someone said they saw this and that. Oh, I heard he was 10 foot tall, and all this talk gets bigger and bigger, and they're so suspicious of this guy who's a stranger in town. He's literally an outer space alien, and at the end they shoot him dead, and he's like, because he like pulled out a scroll, and it's like a space scroll. I don't know how else to describe it.
Space
Like it's
scroll.
yeah, but like it's burning, and they like stomp it out, and they look, and it's like, the cure to all human disease is, and then it's all burn up essentially.
Faith.
Like
Yeah.
it was like
You know that's how we'd get fucking hoodwinked. They wouldn't come with a cure. They would come with a new religion. They would come
What
with
if
a
that
new
happened?
religion.
Oh, that's my favorite sci-fi. That's the sci-fi that I want written. I want the aliens to show up and ask if we've accepted Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior.
Dude, if that happens, I'm in church the next day. Like,
How fucking
I'm apologizing for everything on this show. Like, Yeah,
That would
because
be-
Jesus is totally real. If aliens come here and say, "You guys are right with Christ," right? Like,
Why would that make Jesus more real?
Because they would confirm it. It'd be like if they're over there, you know.
That would be so scary if they showed up and they're like they got crucifixes on and stuff. Like they're dressed like the Pope. Like like we always make fun of how the Pope's like a weird gay wizard, but they show up dressed just like him. Like all of them, they're dressed like cardinals and like the all the robes and green and emerald.
Yeah, they would be
ruby.
scamming us. Like, yeah, hey, here we go. Let's just dress up like these assholes. And then you guys be like, yep, well, God's real. God damn it, they're just fucking doing this on purpose.
No,
Dude,
and I'd be like, Dick, do you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ? And then
That would be the thing, right?
upset people by
There's
doing that.
there's another episode of Star Trek that's essentially that. This alien goes to a planet and she finds out that their religion says that the devil's essentially going to come back at some point and like take over again. And so she just dresses up like the devil of their planet and shows up with a lot of technology. And she's like, "All right, I own you now, or I'll destroy the world. It's up to you." And they're like giving in to her. I like that too. Yeah, the aliens could come down, spy on us, be like, they believe that a Jewish carpenter who was killed by his own people for no reason at all, like died for their sins. Let's go with that one. And they come down and they're just like, "Oh yeah. They completely enslave us if they did that, Taylor. You fell for it immediately."
I did fall for it, but you know, it's one of the legacy religions. If they said like Christianity or Islam, one of the ones that's been around for a long time, if they showed up and said Mormonism was the right one, I'd be like, no
We'd have to go to
way,
war.
no way.
I'd fight to the death over converting to Mormonism. You can't trick me into being that friendly. I won't do it.
It would be a good community to be involved in. You'd be like, damn, everybody's being nice and giving me favors.
If they're bringing space polygamy back, then I'm in. But I don't want
the
to
aliens.
Yeah, what if they're
hot?
ugly? What if they're fat?
Yeah, what if they're fat? I'm
Ew.
out.
Oh, can
if
you
they got-
imagine if like aliens arrive and they're fat and ugly?
Of course they're gonna be fat.
Why? Of course they're gonna be fat.
Cause it's just like us, but 1,000 years from now. Can you imagine how fat we're gonna be in 1,000 years?
We're gonna have tech
Oof.
that lets us eat more.
We're gonna be disgusting.
No,
in
that's
1,000.
that's
Take a pill
fatphobic.
that lines your stomach with something that stops it from absorbing food.
That would be a $1 trillion idea, where it's like, take the pill, eat whatever you want. Like, how much would you pay for said pill? This is the kind of thing that I would have bought off the back of a fucking wagon in 1872, and then the guy's off in another town.
See those South American peoples, they find their skulls, and they did this thing where they wrapped leather bands around their skull to elongate them.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Like the
that.
neck
Yeah, they find the
So,
skulls
like you do
an
a shoelace
alien.
on your finger almost, and like
like bands of leather. Like you wrap the leather tightly around the skull, and then it wet, and then it squeezes, and it's left on there. This isn't something you do in a day. This is like a lifetime effort to make their skulls elongate. And so nowadays, what people will do, I think it was the Anasazi, people will find these skulls, and they think that it's one of those like alien conspiracies. They're like, look, here's what some people say, this is an alien human hybrid, but then they just do DNA, right? They're like, no, what this is, the aliens were coming down and teaching the Anasazi to do things, and the Anasazi were trying to make their children look like the aliens, which were their gods. And that's that those are, you watch a couple of those and you'll be like, maybe. Maybe. They're also the same people who like put the stones out in the plains, like in those patterns that look like birds and animals, and they're like, you can't see. They had no way to ever look at this incredible artwork they made unless they were in the sky. And you're like, what's a goddamn good point? What the fuck? Why were they making those giant birds with stones
I
and
don't
shit?
Because
agree
they
with
had
that.
coned
I think
themselves retarded.
if I had, let's
It's
say
like, man,
that
a lot of our population is blind and dumb. Why are we doing this?
you can make things without going to the sky to see. If you told me, Woody, I want you to mow your name into the yard, I could do it.
Well, also, like, if you're sitting around doing absolutely nothing all the time except just like basic life things, and you like sit around at like in a circle at night with some friends and like take some mushrooms, you're like, you know what I want to do? Let's take a stone out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and 150 years from now, people are gonna be like, how the fuck did they do this? Like, it's aliens.
That's a great idea, dude. As soon as
Great
this
idea.
headache leaves, I'll be with you.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a friend
Don't really
who's
follow
been
through in the morning,
maintaining
but-
a dead spot that says his name, and Kyle O is who he is. Anyway, He has his name and his last name with Roundup in his yard, and it's been over a year now. He's waiting for Google Maps to update. He desperately wants that thing to be on Google Maps, and he's a paramotor friend, so you see it when he flies too. It's kind of cool.
Honey, if this yard has to look like shit for the next 3 Christmases, my family comes, it's going.
She must be tolerant. He's
Look at this skull.
great.
Look how hardcore they went. Because like I know I described it, but you don't get a good sense of just how far they went unless you see it. It's nuts.
They look like those there's a movie is like Spaceballs where they have like
the cone
peanut
heads.
Cone heads, yeah.
Yeah, that Dan Aykroyd thing. That was an SNL sketch that turned into a fucking movie. That had Chris Farley in it.
That's actually what Marge Simpson's skull looks like.
She has very short hair. It's just like dead. Man, like I always wonder how stuff like this catches on. Like, was the son of a king born once, or the tribe chieftain, and he had like a long head, and he's like, my son is not gonna get bullied at school. You all have to make your children's
We're making
heads
this
like
normal.
But things get, because I instantly started searching for ridiculous stuff that we do, and I landed on circumcision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is ridiculous that we still do it. But like, and you know me, I'm not a fan of it. But this is, I'd much rather be circumcised than be walking around hitting my forehead on top of doors.
On the hut archway. Maybe their huts have arched doors, and it makes perfect sense.
That would be hilarious. Like the way doors look, like when a cartoon character bursts through them. Like, it's just the cone.
There's more room for their brain to grow. Like,
Yeah, but like not correctly. What if like they have an incredible sense of smell, but like no ethics? They'd lose any sort of ethics.
Yeah, I would be very interested to know. I'd be depressed if it was like, no, there is no God. There's nothing. You're just a meaningless nothing. That'd be so depressing.
Or what if they said,
I got
well,
news for you.
what if they said there is a God, but you're just like an extra thing that grew? His people are the Neptunians. They live 8 galaxies to the left of you. He created the whole universe for them, and you happened as a result of his magic over there.
That's pretty
He doesn't
embarrassing.
know who's there.
He doesn't even know where. Okay, well then that's
No.
that's just as bad.
And if he found out, he might be like, ew. What? Ew. And like,
I have a
smear
feeling,
you out
yeah,
like a stain
I
on
think
his
you're right about
bathroom.
that, because I think humans are so fucked that,
I think
like,
we're the best.
if me too, and that's what I'm talking about. That's how we're fucked.
I'm
Is
pro-
that
Let
me tell you the sci-fi
if we
movies that I
found
want. I've
out
been
that
thinking about
God has children, and we're the accident, well, we're
So-
about to bring freedom to his real children, and we're about to free ourselves from him. Fucking fuel up the fighter jets. We're storming planet Neptunia.
Oh yeah, dude.
We're gonna
that's
burn
kinda
them
like,
to the fucking ground. Let's show them how humans
see
do,
Avatar?
baby.
That's
The
kind of
news
like
that-
what happened with like Lucifer and the fallen angels, right? Is they were jealous of humanity because we were, the main project that God's working on, and they were like,
We get to
Lucifer's
have
like, what
sex
the
and we have
fuck?
souls.
Why are you so obsessed with these disgusting, stupid, low animals? Look at me, I'm Lucifer, I'm hot shit. And
We'd be
God's
like, look at the
"No, Lucifer,
Neptunians. They're fucking green skin. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
They're
They're
short.
fucking green skinned, 4 nipples. Let's go fucking kill them all right now.
If that was the case, and we found out that God's real and that he has a favored species of people on the moon, and they live under the crust or something, and like that's why we can't see them, we'd have to go shut that down.
We turn that shit into an uncrustable real fast.
Oh yeah, that'd be an uncrustable.
Why do you? I don't know why you want to like upset God by like going against his people. That's
He chose.
We'd have
He
to
chose
show
this.
how we're worthwhile. We'd be like, God, give us some attention. This is like the movie I'm writing in my head.
Love us back.
I
Love
hate this
us
movie.
back.
You hate
God's
this
gonna
movie?
come get us. I like the idea of like an advanced alien race, but they evolved from ants, and on their planet, because their planet's just one anthill at this point, because like one anthill killed all the others, and so there's just one queen, and so they've been like that for so long that they don't have any concept of like war or fighting anything, or it's lost upon them because they've been masters of their planet for so long, since before they were intelligent. And so they show up here with all their advanced technology, and we just fuck them up because we're war monkeys. Like
Yeah.
we're war monkeys who
That's
have been
the fact.
training for millions of years to be the best war monkey we can be, and we just dominate them and take their cool technology away and lie to them and swindle them the way we did the Redskins. You know, we can get them drunk on our we give them, like, the thing is, like, they're ants, so they love sweets. And we've got so much fucking corn syrup. We're just pumping it up. America's getting all the ant money, all the ant tech. China's mad as fuck. They've just got rice. Ants don't want rice. They can't eat it. It expands their tummies.
I remember you saying that we'd fuck them up. I remember getting the Halo 2 limited edition of Halo 2, and it came with the manual, but they didn't reveal that you play as the Covenant also in Halo 2. So when you get the limited edition of the game, the regular manual, which is like written as if you're a human and explaining to you all the things in the game, the Halo 2 limited edition is written as if you're a Covenant. So it's kind of like downplaying all the elements that are human and upplaying all the alien parts reverse to the humans, where the humans will be like, oh god, the elites, they're fucking so crazy, they'll just stomp all of us up, make sure you focus fire on. Whereas like in the alien book, it'll be like the Sangali, the most prosperous and advanced warrior or whatever. But the whole point of it being that they're looking at all the human guns and they're like, bullshit gun, trash gun, this is stupid, what a fucking old school. And then they get to the shotgun and they're like, hold up, even though it's the oldest style of shooting a gun that we've stopped using like thousands of years ago, do not go near this fucking thing. It will fuck you up. And like when I saw that, I kind of always thought that, like, you know what? Like if aliens came here and they were gonna go and like do whatever it is, like to fuck us up, I just think like humans have proven we're so crazy with ourselves, and what we'll do that with aliens, like we would. I don't think they're ready. Like
I'll tell you
like,
what it would be like.
God forbid we find out that they have a vagina and they taste good, we will fuck them and eat them.
If their blood makes us live longer, I will drink it from their babies' throats. Okay? I will.
If
I'll
their
do
blood
like,
powers my car,
do
will
the
invade the
rabbi
whole
thing
planet.
tonight.
Dude,
Yeah.
if they have a nice color, we're wearing them as jackets now.
If their blood is
they've
like
never seen shit like that.
if their blood is like a low quality sugar alternative that's like better marginally than sucralose, we'd kill them. Like
if it tastes anything like this, we will fuck them and eat them and wear them.
A bunch of crazy rednecks looking for a jacket.
It is like, but that's, I feel like aliens.
You're
you get that
genociding all these
civilized.
alien babies, and it's like, yeah, but look at Pepsi Zero's reached new heights.
Other planets with life on their planets, I promise you, they're not wearing the skin of other things on that planet. I think that's some human shit.
That could be par for the course, though.
In
might not be as
Invincible,
unique
I don't think I've seen the newest episode, but the episode before last, he goes under the water and he fights like some kind of a sea monster. And there's a part where the sea monster uses some sort of sound weapon against Invincible, and it affects him and like fucks him up a little. And immediately the scientists are like, hey, this thing right here. Do you see that? Do you see that? Fucking get the tech guys on that. Figure out what, and it's their boy. Invincible's their boy. And still they're like, hey, that fucked him up. Go look into that. We need a gun that shoots whatever that is. That's how we would be if aliens got here, and we would learn so fast what like if they were plant people, we would have some Roundup missiles. Monsanto would be loading the silos. Like immediately, I feel like we figure it out because we're awful. I like to imagine that if there is life elsewhere, it's not as awful as we are, because we are awful.
If they came here and they were like pig people, like we could make pork with their bodies, we're like, it's on.
We'd eat them.
Like we will fucking eat them.
What if they taste good raw? They're gonna hate this warfare.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
there'd
what
be
I'm
like
saying.
there'd
We
be
would. I
human
think we would eat
propaganda
people and
everywhere,
shit.
where it's like, do your part, eat the invaders. Like that.
The strawberry men land. Oh, I got a can of whipped cream in one
Got
hand
any
and a Glock
blueberry
in the
men?
other.
Yeah, the strawberry people invade, and it's like, oh, these suck. These aren't even that good.
The grape
Really
invasion.
overrated.
The grape invasion on their trail mix ships.
Load the
You're like,
short
stand
tank
back,
cannon."
boys. I got this.
Isn't there a movie where like tomatoes invade?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
sequels. I loved it as a kid.
But what if it wasn't even? What if it was like a
fighting
Burger
those
King tomato? So they're like flavorless trash, not even like a nice aroma.
translucent.
Well, you better bring a lot of Wonder Bread, mayonnaise, and black pepper.
Yeah, you need some salt. You need to spice that up a little bit.
I have
Those
I made a 4-part list for the question I asked. That if you have the power to
Oh,
know
the
a
question.
mystery,
Yes.
Yes.
a little recency bias in it. But here we go. I'd like to know Epstein's client list.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I think that would
Yeah.
upturn the world if that got out. It'd be like,
Right?
this many of them are fucking on
I'd
the
like to
island?
know the motivation of the Las Vegas shooter. Right? Like that thing. They just sort of shrugged their shoulders and said, "Huh,
It
well."
would be so crazy if he'd be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll tell you, but you only have one question. I'm surprised you didn't want to know if your wife was cheating on you or not." But anyways, here you go, and you're like, "Wait, what?"
He definitely is. Let's stick with mystery. I didn't think you were the no shit genie. One question. That's it.
all right. I want to know the truth of the Fermi paradox. Right? Why has there been no evidence? Why did net as we've cast?
Wait, the
any
what?
Life,
What's
the
the
Fermi
Fermi paradox. Why we
I'll
have found life?
explain
Yeah,
it.
statistically, we should have found some sign of them. We should be looking. We should be seeing Dyson spheres. We should be seeing stars that are being asteroid fields that are being dismantled and turned into material. We should see planets being dismantled because if there are these advanced races that are so far ahead, they are inevitably going to mine their own. It's the next steps in like technological leaps, and we're not seeing any of that. No radio signal, no ships, no warp drive, no blinky stars.
Earth is pretty noisy, right? If you shine a telescope on it, you can see our lights blinking on and off. We've been sending radio waves out into space for like 100 years now, but we don't have any evidence. Maybe more. I don't know, but we don't have any evidence that there's any other noisy planets. As far as we know, we're the only. Hold on. There's a lot going. I got a lot more, Harley.
Yeah.
As far as we know, we're the only intelligent life out there. So the Fermi paradox asks why. Either we're just first, right? That there's intelligent life behind us, but for some reason, our planet, out of all of them, is the first to have ever gotten advanced ever. Seems statistically unlikely.
Yeah.
So there must be some wall that perhaps we haven't hit yet that stops us, that makes it so that if you get as far as we are to a noisy planet, you start dying. Maybe everybody goes to catastrophic war. A filter. Thank you. That there's some sort of filter that prevents societies from getting as advanced as we're about.
Getting advanced enough to do the things I'm describing, because and the question is, are we just the first? Are we the last? Because we're late.
Or are
in the
we
universe's
the
life.
only?
Are we the only that there ever have been, ever will be? Is it just that there's no intelligent life, or just any intelligent life? Maybe there's like monkeys somewhere. Maybe there's bacteria somewhere, or fungus. But
statistically, most likely, there's a whole bunch of planets who've achieved
Like
this already, and they're just graveyards of them.
statistically, there should be a bunch of us's out there. There should be a bunch of like Star Trek: The Next Generations and Star Wars type shit going on with
unless there's a filter that
Prime
stops
directive,
people getting
though.
from here to there. And if there is a filter, that's the graveyard I'm talking about.
Third Body Problem introduces a really good filter. The idea that there's this overlord race that's
what I was
keeping
going
watch
to
on
say
the
at
galaxy.
first. The three body problem has a whole concept of society is why we wouldn't be able to, or how different they are. You guys know that Netflix show's coming out, eh?
Yeah,
Yes. It's some bumps in the road, I've heard, but
Yeah,
hopefully
but
the writer's strike couldn't have helped.
Yeah, I don't think we know nearly enough about space to know
Yeah.
what's going on out there. I think
It's so
we're
fucked.
probably little babies who think we know a lot more than we do, and we don't.
I don't know. We're doing some cool shit. Like we always talk about the cool shit not happening, but them
Go back to
landing
the
those.
fucking moon.
They've been They're going. They say they are. If you look at like they're saying they're going in the next 10 years. Or
Oh,
so,
they're
but-
coming.
Kyle or
But
Taylor, they promised me no sooner than 2027.
No sooner. That's
They
so
did say
hilarious.
that. yeah.
No sooner than
They've been
2025.
landing
Oh,
on
okay.
comets. Though. They've been landing these spacecraft on comets and meteorites and like taking
China
samples.
has, right? Am I crazy?
We
That
did
wasn't
as well.
American?
We
Okay,
did as well.
okay.
We landed on a comet, and we did the one that like landed. You got to keep in mind, we're moving. The thing we sent is moving. The Earth, I mean, is moving. The thing we sent out there is moving, and the comet is moving. But we did the math well enough that it intersects it doesn't exactly land. It sort of like touches down briefly enough to scoop up a bunch of it, and then poof, pops back off, and then comes back and lands not just on Earth, but over there in Oklahoma where we want it to land, out here in this field. And then they go out there and they've got a canister full of like rocks and pebbles, and they're like testing them at the CDC. They sent them, samples everywhere for various scientists to take looks at them. It flew back.
Like with
a spacecraft, they sent a tiny spacecraft out to land on this thing, grab some shit, take off, and fly back to Earth.
Do we need some of this fuel on Earth?
Kyle
I think
told
it's a
the
small
story
craft.
great. I followed it. I was riveted. But somewhere along the story, I was hoping he would slip in. Maybe I'm a little high. People are saying that. That it is easier to teach miners to be astronauts than astronauts to be miners.
You can't teach an astronaut to drill. That's in your blood, boy. All right? Now, have Steve Buscemi's pedophile ass come in here and show you how to load a nuclear weapon.
Yes.
That movie is so upsetting to watch as a
Oh,
grown man. As a kid, you're like, ye fucking haw. Bruce Willis is laying people out. That big black dude, Michael Clark Duncan Hall or whatever his name was.
Rest in peace.
He's like flexing with his bikini bottoms, like making fun of cholesterol. And he died of a stroke.
No, I didn't know that.
You believe in ghosts?
Ghosts? I think
Absolutely not.
Okay. I was like,
Is that a consistent position, PKA?
It's 100% consistent position. I've spoke about demons before, but I do not believe in ghosts.
But
the
aliens
difference-
are real.
Aliens might be
Period.
real. I don't know if the
aliens are
aliens.
real.
Period.
I believe there are extraterrestrial life forms. I just don't know if they've come here. If they do come here on a regular basis and rape us.
they don't come here and rape us, probably. But
Probably.
Somebody's
I'd be
raping
open
me.
to that.
Explain
Perfect.
that.
Exactly what you said. This is what I always tell people whenever I tell them I'm afraid of aliens. They're like, "You're afraid of aliens?" And I'm like, "All right, let's do this. Let's get like the world's top 25 scientists in a room, and be like, all right, I'm addressing the room. Does anyone here believe in vampires?" They all laugh. Of course, there are no vampires. What about werewolves? Any werewolves? Anybody believe in werewolves? No, there are no werewolves. Ghouls, goblins? No. Do you think maybe aliens come here every now and then and molest people? Almost certainly not. That's the best answer you're gonna get. You're not gonna get an absolutely, positively not out of every one of them. Like,
Now
I
here's
feel
a
like
question.
you're gonna get a
If-
probably not.
If you had the option to be penetrated by an alien, have intercourse with an alien, but he's having intercourse with you, and you can have it on film, if you have the option, yes, I want this to happen, or no, what would you choose?
yeah, dude,
Think about the books you could write.
Wait, is this like straight sex with an alien, or am I getting fucked by the alien?
You're getting this is
You're getting.
this
I
is
think
pretty
you're
much
getting
gay
penetrated.
sex.
You
I
have
will-
to-
Are we
you
talking about
have to
alien
give up
pussy
something.
You
right
don't
now?
get to be James T.
No.
Kirk
No,
in
we're
this
not
situation.
we're not talking about
You don't get to be the
extraterrestrial.
hero
We're
of
not
this
talking about
story.
And it's
ecstasy.
filmed, so you have proof that it happened.
I don't want it to be filmed. Good God, you're not selling me with
Oh,
the film.
Think about
there's-
the movies you could star in, the
A
books you could
movie.
write,
No, but that's
the
only if
podcasts you could be
You're
on.
listening to a man who's made 14,000 videos. He's got content on the mind.
Trevor. Trevor's
If I
gonna
could
be
just
like,
get fucked by an alien.
You could be
I
in
could
textbooks,
retire.
Kyle. You
Hey,
could, you could
YouTube.
outlive.
here's my
this
breakdown
body
Talking
of
about
of
yours.
space AIDS, first of all. And, like, there's no
No,
way.
he uses a condom.
He uses a
100%.
space condom. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've sold me. You've sold me with
sold
space
me.
condom.
Imagine the TikTok
He also
videos
takes.
of you
He also takes
penetrating.
Blue Chew.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe we could
Good
work
ad
that
read.
into an ad. Maybe we could make some money that way.
Just keep airing the film week after week.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Kyle getting ass fucked by
Really
an
wish they'd
alien.
stop
on
playing
Blue
that film like that. It's everywhere I go. You know, it was in a Super Bowl ad. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I'm having nightmares about that night.
Extraterrestrials need to get hard too. Blue Chew.
Yikes. No, I don't think I want to get raped by an alien on film for everyone to see. Preferably not. No, I
No,
don't
it
think
wouldn't be
so.
aggressive. It loving.
Oh,
You're consenting. You're
I think that
choosing
makes
to
it
consent.
worse.
Sweetener,
that makes it
Kyle.
worse.
He's taking his smart mouth as well.
Oh. That literally makes it worse. I would rather have a
They're
violent
sponsored
alien
by
rape than a tender one.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
But back to my point. That's why I'm afraid of them. You ask those scientists, like, the best answer you get is almost certainly not. You're never going to get a definitive, absolutely positively no out of all of them. There's going to be like a considerable amount of like the top scientists in the world who know their shit, who are like, I mean, maybe.
This is plausible.
That's because
Yeah.
it's like there's the universe is so vast. It is statistically improbable that we are the only sentient, intelligent life forms. And if you have the capacity at some point to travel fast as or faster than the speed of light, we're not going to detect you with our like NOAD radar, like Santa tracker, right? You're going to come in the dead of the night, and you're going to rape me, and you're going to get your data, and you're going to leave, and nobody's going to know. I'm going to seem like a crazy. Even with video evidence, they're going to be like,
That's the thing. Like, that's the thing about video evidence now. Like, if you had a video in 1994 of an alien raping Tucker, it would blow the world away. They'd be like, "Oh my God, it's real." If you showed that same video today, they'd be like, "Oh, what are they trying to sell?
Deep fake.
What are they trying to sell here? Is this an ad for condoms? Is this?"
You're right, but I go the other way. It seems like all these shitty alien photos and such came from the 90s. They came from the 80s. Now that everybody has a camera in their pocket, there has not been an explosion in alien observations.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all that military footage.
Well, didn't we
all
talk
that
about
military
this?
footage? There's like one debunked military video.
No,
That's
didn't
not true.
That I
we
saw.
talked
It
we talked about
definitely-
this last time I was on. I swear to God, because we or maybe I didn't, but like they were just about to air the Fox. Was it Fox? Whatever. The CNN. The whole
60
like
minutes thing.
Yeah, that's what it was. 60 minutes. Sorry. Where they're like, hey, here's all the footage we have declassified from like 2004, and it was like IR video, etc. Like none of this was even remotely surprising to me. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a UAV from 2004. It's a 2007 tech UAV that they were testing out or something like that.
I watched a guy on Reddit recreate it. He's
Oh,
like,
really?
there's a light. This is a night scope. This is the particular scope that makes lights look like diamonds. And here to watch how it copied it over with the different
Ooh.
lenses. And I was like, oh, this guy clearly has recreated this footage. The person who submitted it, I don't think is a liar. I think they believe they saw something, but this guy
Right.
could explain it super well.
That's a cool post. If you have, I mean, I probably lost to the
I can
void,
hunt
but like,
for it, but-
yeah, because that, I mean, to me, I was like, it's a light particle, right? There's some weird light shit, and if it's not, it's some tech that the U.S. military wants to flex to other people without overtly, being like, hey, here's what we got.
Or it just gets seen, right? Like I remember, like there was X-Files episodes about like the triangular shaped, like UFOs, and that was the F-117 project. You know, like way before it was
Really?
before anybody like talked about it. Before that was like unclassified. Like those F-117s were made in like the 80s. You know, like so was the B-2 bomber. Like that's 1980s tech. The stealth fighter and what's not a fighter, but they call it one. All that stealth shit. I wonder what the cutting edge is now. Like wonder what
We can't even imagine.
Do you
I'm sure.
Right, but do you think? I mean, because it's cool. It's interesting that it's pretty much an unlimited checkbook, right? Like if you say, hey, we have the potential to turn. Yeah, and like this exterior coating to reflect radar, but also blend in on video too. It's like, all right, how much you want? 4 billion, 8 billion? How? Like, what do we need to make it work? Yeah. So, or anything with like fission and fusion, that stuff has to have like a practical application for war to get funding from the DoD, even though they're actively researching it for like fission. Infusion reactors to like generate power and stuff.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, like
No.
it takes so long to like get a project done, and then like the chain of parts is so ridiculous. Where like there are these you know like the tech is moving so fast. Probably what the cutting edge right now that they're actually like flying and testing was made like 15-20 years ago. Like the cutting edge of what they're actually using right now is probably like 10-15-year-old tech at least.
I mean, look at our like highway system. Look how long it takes to do that. Can you imagine what it takes in a military sense with all the checks and balances and everything?
Zach, can you cue up that video? So the opening 15 seconds, when we watch it together, will show like 90% of what it is, and the rest is the process he made to figuring out exactly which scope and duplicates it. With audio, please.
This UFO video does not show a pyramid. There's a triangle shape, but that looks exactly like an effect caused by a bright light being out of focus, and a night vision camera with a triangular iris like this one.
Yeah.
Or triangular lens cover.
We could go on, but he just goes through his whole process of discovering how he figured out how it was made. And it's just a blinking light viewed through that lens that makes it look like a triangular spaceship. And I don't know. I just I see that kind of shit and I'm like, honest mistakes, but not intelligent life.
Why? I'm just like, my be all end all here is like, if you have the tech to traverse galaxies, right? Then you certainly have the tech to avoid basic radar detection, right? Or at least like,
you just don't bounce it back, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we
or
almost
just,
have that tech.
Yeah, figure it out. I mean, you have interplanetary, intergalactic travel, which is probably one of the great filters in the universe, right? If you hit that point, I feel like you're upper echelon civilization if there are people who can do that. So it's just, it seems implausible to me. It'd be like saying, hey, we've got an RC car and they have a bunch of laser. It's an awful example. I'm going to stop it before I continue. Yeah, so the point is, like, I don't see how you get detected.
Imagine an RC car with lasers. You could never detect it.
Yeah, I saw where that was going. Point is, it's just improbable that you would have that level of tech and not know how to deal with our level of detection.
Because they would have already had our
level of
technology at
tech
some
in the
point,
first place, yeah.
Hundreds or thousands of years ago. So.
I love watching those YouTube channels that break down like weird what if scenarios with like animation. There was one about alien invasion the other day. It was really fucking good about like how long it would take and what would happen.
Oh really?
In a scenario in which like the aliens didn't want to like nuke the Earth or use some sort of weapon of mass destruction. Like they want to colonize, so they want to get rid of the human beings. It was really interesting. I think they settled on that it would, because the aliens would probably have like 0.9% light speed tech in the scenario that they used. They thought we would win the war in like 35 years or something like that, because they would have to bring everything that they were going to like do their warring with them in one shot, and then they'd be a couple light years from home, like 70, 80 years from home. Meanwhile, we would just be right here, like breeding generation after generation of fighters to combat them. It was an interesting like scenario. It was fun. Anything like that's fun to watch to me. I was really let down by the Chris Pratt movie because I thought it was going to be cool like that. The one with the Tomorrow War.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I didn't
call
watch
it 90 minutes long, and I really enjoyed about 10 or 15 minutes of it.
I think it might have been 2 hours. It seemed long to me.
Are you about right though? Like there was a moment in there where they kind of like there was I guess the relationship between him and the star on the ground. There are parts in there when it unfolded I enjoyed.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Chris Pratt too. It was just, it felt cheap to me. And then I found out it cost like $225 million or something like that. And then the aliens were dumb. And
that's interesting. I didn't.
They beat the alien up at the end. Like they went hand to hand with the giant alien. That in the beginning, a team of men with machine guns couldn't handle like a little one. And then at the end, like him and his decrepit old dad, who's played by Schillinger from the Oz, the J.J. Jameson from the Spider-Man movies, they literally like go hand to hand with the Queen. They're like, fucking bring it on, and they like beat up the Queen.
I know that you're right, but make it right for me. He had something that even the score.
He
right?
didn't even have a knife. He had like one of their spikes that they would shoot, like some dull like tusk that he's like fighting with.
Are you sure the tusk wasn't particularly effective against them? Like it was
It wasn't a magical
thing
tusk
that kills White Walkers.
No, he did not have a vibranium tusk or anything like that.
We're in the Marvel universe.
He was I mean, we might as well go to fantasy land because the idea of Chris Pratt beating up a giant monster with his bare hands, along with a 70-year-old man in the Arctic, mind you, or in Siberia, was just. Like, come on, give him have a part where he just happens to have a rocket launcher here. Like, maybe I'll believe that.
What was the Tom Cruise movie with time travel that was very good?
The Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, so the bad guys in the Chris Pratt movie, they're alien type things, were on the same level as the ones in the Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like, you could put, I'll make up a number, 300 rounds into them, and they're still 80% fighting effective, and they have 7 more limbs to attack you. It's a real problem. You have to headshot them a lot. And, the fact that the idea that you hand-to-hand combat one of those, it's a non-starter.
It's like fighting a lion. Like these things are much scarier than a lion. But you would never, if they did that, if they were like,
You're right.
Actually, the problem is lions. But don't worry, Chris Pratt's gonna fight one at the end. He's got elephant tusk. Give Chris Pratt a fucking like elephant tusk and see how many lions he can fight. I'm guessing the answer is 0.01.
It was Chris Pratt's dad too, right?
And
like,
his
it was
dad.
even worse.
His dad doesn't add anything to it other than liability. He's so old. That character is literally like 70.
Well, he could fly the plane. He was useful for that part.
He owned a cargo plane that somehow made it to Siberia without refueling. Yes. I don't know a lot about aviation, but I don't think a C-130 makes it from California to Siberia without refueling.
It does. Well, actually, my what do you call it? My cousin's husband flies C-130s.
They certainly don't make it back.
You're fourth. It looks like the range is what kind of nautical miles shit is this? 4,500 nautical miles max.
Okay.
It's not gonna make it, is it? No.
I don't think they're gonna make it.
So
I think it's gonna be close.
How many nautical miles is California from Siberia, Tucker?
All right. How many nautical miles from LA to Siberia? Why did it autofill? 5,300. So there you go. It was
Parachute
close.
The last
They don't
1,000.
even
Parachute
make it.
the last 1,000.
And they're also carrying all that gear and people. Like the thing's loaded down. Like I bet the range you've got there is like an unloaded C-130. They got like 8 people in there. All those ATVs. Where did they get the ATVs? They had snowcats and shit. Like there was so much in that movie. Look, I get it.
Capacity. They could have brought golf carts and shit if they wanted.
All I need is like for them to make shit make sense. I believed Lord of the Rings when the elf pulls out the limbus bread. And they're like, oh yeah, like one bite can fill the stomach of a grown man and for a day. All right, so it's some magic shit. Yeah, exactly, magic shit. All right, I believe you. And this, at no point were they like, so where are we getting $250,000 worth of snowmobiles? I don't know.
I cheap them in my C-130.
Where are we getting all these weapons? We're in California, mind you. Where are we getting all this weaponry and ammunition that we're taking with us? Where
San Diego's military
they had
base.
C4. They had
Oceanside.
C4. It just like you don't have to like have like I know a little bit about procuring C4 and about like getting weapons in California. You don't have to have my level of like knowledge about these things to be like, wait a minute, where'd they get the C4?
It'd be more realistic if they came from Texas.
It would be a lot more realistic if they came from Texas. If they had a piece of an alien, if they had an alien body that looked real, like I could get on board. But everything I've ever seen looks so silly, just so silly, and not even close. The stuff that's compelling is that footage from like what is it, the Teddy Roosevelt or whatever, that naval vessel that's got the thermal camera right on the fucking weird top shaped flying object, and you've got them like talking like it's moving X amount of knots, blah blah blah, indeterminate.
Oh yeah, like the
blah,
UAP
blah, blah.
videos.
Like yeah, they're talking about it, and they're naval officers who are clearly confused about what they're looking at. That's compelling. I don't know what the fuck they're looking at either.
Oh, like that guy who was flying around up in the air and like stuff kept popping up on his radar and it was moving in ways that they didn't know how to understand.
That might
Similar
be part
to
of it,
that.
but I'm talking about the video of the.
It was a Navy video that he's talking about.
I'll just call it the spaceship. The video of the fucking spaceship for the long one where they're tracking it for minutes and minutes, and then instead of being like this, it completely changes its orientation and turns like sideways, like longer, top to bottom.
Like, did they see it with the naked eye too, or did they see it through the camera and the infrared?
As fast as it was moving, I doubt that they saw it with their naked eye.
I only ask because half of these things get explained by like, oh, it's the way that you're viewing it. Like if you put a speck on my glasses, I'd be like, holy shit, this thing moves in a way that defies fucking physics, Yeah. But it's a speck on my glasses, and that happens with lenses. That happens. Lens flare, for example, is like those rainbows you kind of see around lights. But sometimes there are artifacts that like make little bright triangles.
Counterpoint. I doubt they were looking at it with a telescope. I bet they were looking at it with the most expensive piece of optics that money can buy.
Yeah, in this case, it was radar equipment.
You say it was old?
Like a couple years ago. Like there's an interview with the guy that on the boat, like a naval officer on YouTube. I was watching it earlier. He's like, I was on the Teddy Roosevelt during the Dresden event or whatever. But so it's recent, and it's again, that to me speaks a little bit to the whatever the fuck is going on of it. Is that if this wasn't some like kid's iPhone that tracked something funny
Right,
It's
it's
like,
military equipment.
it's the best equipment there is
American
for looking at things
military
flying in the air. It's like, what does that piece of equipment do normally? It finds things that fly really fast in the air that don't want to be seen. Huh? So it's made for this. Yes, and it's having a hard time. You can't figure out what it is. We have no idea what that is.
And
the
if we're
thing you're
talking
looking
about,
at,
I
the
hear
thing
you.
that tells you what things are. It's like,
I think my skepticism just has me latching on to any other explanation
Sure.
and leaving it over the alien thing.
I think the most likely scenario is that there's a branch of some branch of the military or someone in our military is using some cool shit and not telling the guys that when it's way below their pay grade. Why would that guy on that boat need to know that they're flying their magical flying donut shaped unmanned vehicle tonight? Maybe
I imagine
maybe
they'd shut that down though. Like
if you wanted to like test your cool new toy, what's the use in flying it to Russia where they shoot their own shit down and like shoot their own men because they're so incompetent? You'd want to fly it around one of our boats, like who's got the good shit, right? And then that way, if they accidentally shoot you down, it's like, oh, let's go to cover. We're in safe waters and everything. It just seems like if you're testing your new scary shit, you'd test it on your own people.
No, I think you'd want to fly it around Russia and China, and then just like every few weeks you zoot around there a little bit, and then you go back. And then you like hard scope their media and like our spies tell us, and then they're like, really? Nobody saw anything? Russia didn't see anything? Oh, China saw something. Okay, well now we know they got fucking something over there.
Yeah, I just don't believe in little green men. Mostly because I'm so afraid of them. I can't live in a world where they exist. I remember in Independence Day, there's that newscast you kind of hear in the background. They're warning people not to fire their handguns at the craft. I'd be that guy. I'd be out there. Look, we gotta go.
Hit the craft. Take off, popping off at it like it's gonna help.
I'm sorry. I saw
this
fire in
one
the sky.
sucks.
This one looks awful.
Like, is this carved out of wood?
That's what I was about to say. It's like ivory or something, isn't it?
Isn't that one weirder? I'm sorry, isn't that one real?
This?
What do you mean real? Is it a
real? Is in? I don't know that it's extraterrestrial, but they did a DNA test on it and they found it to be 92% like humans. Yeah, at first 8% of the DNA did not match with human DNA. An improved analysis says it matched at 98%. So it's basically a human, or what else matches 98% with
Mutated
humans?
fetus?
Monkeys,
No, that'd
mutations.
be 100%, right? I don't know.
It's definitely human. I mean, people have sent in like lizard spit to 23andMe, and they're like, "You're French." Like people have literally done that. So like, yeah, if this is definitely like a human with.
That's what I was getting. It's human, or I don't know enough about genetics. If you were to say that monkeys match 98%, I'd be like, well,
what is
Taylor
this
knows.
supposed to be? Is there an article to correspond with this? Like
There
was
is.
this
He linked
found?
it. It's on
Oh,
CNN.
I'm
Just
sorry.
above it.
It just looks
Summarize
like
it for me,
shit.
Kyle.
Oh yes, instantly
the entire
I will.
article. Yeah.
They're
Look at his
comparing
little Glasgow smile on the right one.
It's 6 inches
Yeah.
tall. I think it's
Wait,
a 6.
is it?
Yeah, look at the fabric. You can
it's
see
a
the
skeletal
fabric.
conundrum made by perplexing features. It's only 6 inches tall,
You're
but
right, good
initially
call.
initial
Oh.
estimates of the age of the bones were consistent with a 6 to 8 year old child. 10 pairs of ribs rather than 12.
The fuck?
Okay, well, a human with this level of problems, I'm not blown away by missing ribs.
So reportedly, this was found in 2003. It was found in a deserted mining town called La Noria in Chile's Atacama region. It has thought to be ancient at first, but initial analysis conducted in 2012 proved the skeleton was only about 40 years old. I mean, this is just nonsense. I just don't believe this. This is somebody's dumpster baby.
Why are aliens so heavily invested in South and Central America? Like it's so many of them are like Argentina or Chile or somewhere around there.
Peru.
Like, yeah, Peru. How often
Here's a
is it that a
question.
Canadian finds one?
Why is
like,
it that
never?
since we've started having video cameras in our pockets, there haven't been more aliens captured, like on camera? Right? It used to be you'd go camping and people would have like alien abductions. Now that everyone has a video camera, the alien abductions have dropped dramatically.
That got rid of a ton of the horse shit, but it also left some stuff that I don't have a good enough eye to ever tell. Like if you go on the UFO or the UFOs plural subreddits, you'd be like, shit, I don't know if that's all right. So maybe that's an alien, or maybe this is someone really good at editing. I don't know. Like,
but you gotta be careful in
absolutely
there.
see videos on there of a craft that like
You can't explain
I saw
it.
one and I was like, Can't explain that. Better go to the comments. And they're like, this is a commercial from 2019.
Yeah.
Like this is a clip from a video game. This is Photoshop. This is editing. And it's just like, it's so good.
Dude,
you can't tell. I mean, CGI
those
is
things
so
get
good.
me a lot. There's some Ukrainian footage of a jet that like dodges 12 pieces of anti-air and then like hits its bomb and zips off into freedom. And I'm like, holy smokes, this is intense. And they're like, that's Arma 4. That you totally bought it. And I did.
I gotta play Arma 4.
Right?
Best advertisement ever.
And then there's another one. I guess there's a guy just like, oh, the humanity as gigantic waves roll in. And then he's like, what? There's a person surfing on it. And the wave like comes crashing. You see him, he's killing it. And then he's like, oh no. And then the wave, like the breaking part of it catches up to the guy, but then he pulls through and gets free again. He's like, oh my God. It's a Powerade commercial. But if you see it, you'd be fooled too. It is outrageously good.
There's an old commercial where there's like some African, might not even be a commercial, it's an internet clip. There's like 3 or 4 African like warlord looking motherfuckers with AKs and camo on, and a monkey comes up and they're all, oh, look at the little monkey. And they give it a gun. And they think it's so funny, and then the thing fucking picks the thing up and goes da 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 da, and they're all running from the monkey, and he looks like he's operating the machine gun not well, but like he's figured out if you squeeze it just right, it kills, and then like maybe the cameraman falls over or something like that, and I was like, the fuck was that, bro? Because I don't know.
You fell for that one. I know exactly the video. You thought a 30-pound monkey was wielding an AK-47 like that?
It was not a 30-pound monkey. When he picked it up, it might have been a baboon or a chimp. It was a monkey that could handle a firearm.
So one of a kind.
What was it? Do you know the origin of the video?
I honestly don't, but I guarantee it was a commercial or something. I bet it was like a teaser for a Netflix movie where animals get smart and take over. It was some shit like that.
Animals
the one that didn't fool me, of course,
smart.
The miniature giraffe, like the mini giraffe that was like, ee! Like your pet. That one didn't get me, thankfully. But
embarrassing.
So I am addicted to this one
Wings
YouTuber. I think his name is Brian Cox. The guy, he's British. Yeah, okay, yeah. Physicist, I think. Anyway, he's convinced me that we might be alone in the universe. He's talked about alien life, and by the way, when I say life, I mean intelligent, complex life, not viruses and amoebas and stuff.
Yeah, somebody you talk to.
Sure. So he says the universe is 12 billion years old. Apparently, we know this. All right. Earth is about 4 billion years old. So a third of the universe's entire span of existence. And Earth has had basically a stable environment for 4 billion years. That's how long it took for the amoebas and specks and whatever to evolve into humans, about 4 billion years. And he's like, it is very possible that 4 billion years of stable, like life providing planets is rare. When we look around, other planets have more comets, and the suns get bigger and smaller, and the climates change in dramatic ways, and Earth has been pretty much stable for a third of the universe's existence. That doesn't happen much. That's why we're not talking to other people.
Could be true.
I'm only as good as my source, but I bought into it, and he's very convincing. He says it better than me.
I think that in that case, I think I've seen that video. He was addressing the answer that what they call the Fermi paradox. About how theoretically, if the universe is infinite, that means there's infinite planets with infinite stages of life, and some of them out there should be able to manipulate what we call space-time. Surely, so I think it would have been. I would have imagined that was theorizing. I remember that, but I love Brian Cox, man. That dude is completely awesome. He explains things in a really great way. He's become a big favorite of mine over Neil deGrasse lately for the way that he breaks things down. I do remember that clip, and he said, and he also pointed out that in 4 billion years of a constant chain of life on Earth, we don't have the technology to leave our solar system yet, despite having 4 entire billion years of a chain. Now, that being said, we had a mass extinction event that happened, and life kind of started over. Yeah, true. We've got a lot.
I think when you say, so everything he said, I'm sure makes sense and is true. The only thing that I would say is like I think the Earth had a bunch of I think for like 1.5 billion years it was like on fire, like molten
at the beginning.
You know, it was a while before the surface wasn't just a big molten pool of rock, and then it's because at some point something hit us and became the moon. Like something big hit us and we coalesced, and then a blob came off and became the moon. We know it did. They can. It's fun. There's questions. They're like, well, how do they know? How do they know how big it was? Well, because if it had been any bigger, it would have hit our core and stolen that iron away. But there's no iron. The moon doesn't have an iron core, so they know it didn't penetrate what we would think of as like the proto-Earth, the first Earth before it got hit. You know,
so
to go all the way to the core.
Is the moon the thing that hit us, or is the moon a piece of Earth, or a little of both? Are there elements? I'm asking. I don't know how to ask my stupid question, but are there things on the moon that you don't get from Earth because they came from a meteorite?
I would assume so.
I don't know anything about that, but I've seen a simulation, like a computer simulation of like what they think it would have looked like, and you just got like a smaller ball hitting a bigger ball, but then they just become this weird flowy mass of like molten glass, and then a blob sort of like flicks off and slowly falls into an orbit. It was really
Would the Earth still be like so nice and round after that collision?
Gravity does that.
Like the whole thing like moltenified and then went back into a sphere again.
Yeah, well, there's plate tectonics as well, right? So
of course plate tectonics.
It's all always eating itself and replenishing, right? Well, I mean, you know how plate tectonics work. That's not. Don't act like that's above anybody's head.
I didn't think about how that.
Yeah,
would
I think Josh knows though.
there's
Like with gravity, like if you take something in zero gravity, like a drop of water in zero gravity, it's going to form a sphere as it just floats there.
Yeah.
A video I saw about it also demonstrated something similar to what Kyle's talking about, and it was like they slow-mo'd a drop of water, and they showed that when the drop hits, it sinks deep down into it, but then there's that splashback, if you will, and they said that basically the same thing would have happened with a planet, and that's why you see spikes in the middle of craters on the moon and stuff like that, and probably something similar on. Oh, okay, here we go. Is that the one you were talking about, Kyle?
What? Yeah. Well, I mean, more or less.
Yeah. Now it's gonna get its own gravity.
Maybe it's just because of like the quality that it looks.
Yeah.
So did a lot of these form into like that belt of what is it called? The Kuiper belt? Is that like the
Kuiper belt is
belt that's
super
around
far
us
away.
or super
Yeah,
far away?
I don't think
Kuiper
so.
belt is the one that's super duper far away. I don't know how. Way.
Do we not
further
have
than-
many asteroids? We don't have
There's a
many
big
hanging out
belt.
around us.
So don't think belt or like a congested thing of them like in Star Trek. But between Mars and Jupiter, there is a sphere of asteroids, not a ring of asteroids that's going around the solar plane with us. But it's a loosely packed. You could, when you see them navigating asteroid fields and you see they're everywhere, that's just crazy silliness.
It doesn't take an exceptionally good Starfleet pilot to navigate the asteroid fields in real life.
Miles and miles apart. like you wouldn't see one from the other probably.
If you were moving at like relative speeds,
you need a telescope and like some knowledge to figure out.
Well, they're at impulse speed, so that's not that fast.
I think I don't know how fast impulse speed is.
That kind of sucks. We only get one.
They do though. There's a handbook that lays all that stuff out.
That's cool. I want to. I mean, like a rifle.
A rifle.
Like a laser rifle. Will that ever be a possibility or no?
I don't know.
Don't like the idea of reloading or what?
That just would be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that lasers
How
have
embarrassing it's going to be if aliens get here and we're still using bullets. Like they'll at least give us props if we've got lasers down. Is my imagine.
I don't know what. I feel like you can just defeat a laser by wearing some mirrors, though, right? Like just
not space lasers.
Not
you think
space lasers. You're right. Good point.
You think they didn't think that through? The humans have a new defense. It's just a fucking mirror you're holding up. Like they're like retard signs. Aliens are like, we're gonna take over this planet. What's it made of? Something that kills us. Let's go. That was the dumbest part of Signs. That ruined ruined a lot of the movie, where it was like, oh, they're the most hyper advanced people of all time.
I love that movie.
I love that movie. That was the dumbest part of. I want to show my fucking credit card again. I gotta stop playing with it. That was the dumbest part of War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Was when the aliens neglected to remember that there might be some microbes on that planet that'll kill us. Like they have no immunity.
They got the flu.
6 of one, half dozen of another. Yeah. I'll throw water. That's not even as dumb as the water thing.
There's a lot of dumb ones.
I think it's
like every
dumber than
single
the one.
alien movie where it's like the entire alien invasion is networked to this one ship, and that ship is vulnerable to anyone who wants to attack it. And you're just like, what? Why? Why would they build that system that way? Why would they attack with one center thing that's doing all of the work and everything else is
So that Will Smith can win.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why.
like-
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
exactly.
God they're running on Vista. And
You
then
did not shoot that green shit at me.
Was
That's the bad.
Independence
that was
2 any good? I don't think I saw it.
You can avoid
Doubt
that.
it.
Was
The
it
first
wasn't any
one,
good.
the first one wasn't that great either.
The first one was outstanding. I still get tears over the speech.
You'd all be dead if it wasn't for my son David.
when
Over
the
the
president
The
did
4th of
tells the
July
Scientists in
will no
fucking
longer
movies
be
are
known as
amazing.
an American holiday. That whole fucking speech that Bill Pullman
It
has.
was great. It was
Bill
great.
Pullman is not good in that movie.
He tries his
Scientists
damnedest.
and
though.
He stands Bill Pullman. No, it's more just the dialogue's bad, the acting's bad, the plot's bad,
Writing's bad.
writing's bad.
Yeah.
There were a couple cool alien things.
Look, I loved it.
No, never mind. I'm thinking of Men in Black now. No, it doesn't have anything good.
I loved it
Yeah.
when I was 9.
Yeah,
Oh, this is
exactly.
when it
That's
came
about
out.
that's the demographic though.
It was like, oh man, the Fresh Prince is just wrecking these aliens. Look
You
at
know
him
what?
go.
That is what made me like it, I think,
He's
initially.
the coolest. He's got the stripper wife and everything. This is
Finally.
exactly what 9-year-old me wants in a life.
Finally, we can see
I
what
fly
Will Smith
jets
can
and
do.
I've got my girlfriend's a stripper.
That turned out by
Yeah.
NASA. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah, but then he got the fly to space anyway.
He did show them that he was good at it.
Yeah.
We just have to hope when we get invaded, if we get invaded by aliens, they're as incompetent as the movies say. Because my guess would be that they're going to be so supremely confident, we'll all be dead before we know they showed up.
What if we're-
that's what they want?
What if they get here and they can't believe how hardcore we are? What if that's why they haven't invaded? What if they keep
portion?
looking?
How hardcore, like delusional? Like
No, how incredibly aggressive and militaristic we are. Like, what if
Oh, I
that
see.
is a very odd thing with alien culture?
They're just not
What
used
if-
to violence. They just come
What
here.
if what if the reason they've advanced so far is partially the fact that they're a very peaceable,
cooperative?
cooperative group of individuals, and they look at us and they're like, they've all got weapons that shoot projectiles 3,000 feet per second. It's insane. They've got this one bullet. You're not going to believe this. I was just watching this podcast. It shoots petals of death and then little BBs of death. How many? I don't get it.
This opening scene, like alien, like conference room, and he's just giving a presentation on the bump stock.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, they're civilians carry these. You know, like,
They're like trying to understand why we're so violent, why we can't get stuff straight. We're like talking about our world, and they're like, and what are these things you call women? We are all ourselves. And it's just a bunch of gay advanced.
They're asexual.
They're all just asexual. They don't know about sexual conquest and stuff, so they just focus all on science and lasers, and we're fucking. Maybe
Yeah,
our only hope is that we look way cooler than them, so at least we'll go out looking tight. Right? Like if they show up.
That's our only hope.
Well,
that we go out looking tight.
I'm gonna buy a fucking anti-aircraft gun.
Taylor
I will
makes good points.
This sounded like another Will Smith movie.
Consider this. They all come, but these are all like 6-inch tall aliens. They're not used to how aggressive we are. And so the way you go out, Kyle, is like the cave troll of Moria. You've just got a 2x4 in your yard, and because you're so tired, you're even making cave troll noises. You're just going like that, mowing down row after row. And then guess where you live on in all eternity? There's a really cool like tapestry of you looking dope and intimidating, swooping them up. And then of course like the next panel of the tapestry is you being killed by the general or something. But they're gonna like remember like, man, that was pretty fucking crazy. Those humans, they were so big.
Which movie is this from? Because it sounds Hobbit to me.
Probably irreversible.
I'm making all of this up.
Oh, I think
Well,
this is in the Hobbit,
the
right?
Fellowship of the Ring has a little bit of it, you know. When
Who's the big baddie that they all team up on at the end of the Hobbit? What is wrong?
The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the dragon, Smog,
Nope.
right?
Nope. He's big.
Oh,
cave.
is that the?
You talking about that pale guy?
Yeah.
It's all CGI.
Yes.
Pale
I don't
orc?
know it.
So is
Yeah.
Taylor. He just doesn't know it. That's the scene that he's describing.
Oh, well, mine weighs better because nothing could be worse than that movie. The movie was terrible. They should be embarrassed. They should be fined. When they release bad movies, studios should be fined.
That'd be amazing if it was like under 50% approval.
Great. Yeah.
They had to pay out. Every moviegoer got like got the refund and $3 more or something.
That'd be great. Like everybody who went to the Matrix Revelation, they should all get their money back plus something for their time.
God, that was so upsetting.
Yeah.
You go to Frozen and it's like, I'm sorry she married that guy the first week she met him. Here's your money back. This all would have been prevented if it wasn't for that.
I mean, I liked Frozen.
I like it
Never
too.
seen that.
I'm just trying to make jokes. Trying to fit in, Kyle. It's a bad plot point.
Always bringing the podcast down, Woody. Jeez.
God damn it, Woody.
We're gonna have a serious conversation. You again. Look, we're discussing
we're having a
anti-aircraft
debate
guns
here.
and the fucking alien
You just
invasion.
have to come
Where
in
were
and
you?
shit on Frozen out of nowhere.
There's bad movies and refunds, and she married the guy in a week.
It's a beautiful film.
What's the best possible scenario for us?
For an alien invasion?
Yeah, no. If we become the aliens who can invade another planet, what's the ideal, intelligent race for us to come across? We don't want one that's too smart, and you can't say like, oh, you show up on the planet and it's all deer and turtles. No. There's got to be like something running the show the way we do here. I guess the
gold collectors of Zukan B.
I have my own idea. They could be aquatic, and then we could live almost coexisting with them.
That's interesting. We would end up winning.
We've done amazing jobs with the waters of our home planet, right? Just imagine coexisting. The first time you're just like venting your like fucking like nuclear like waste into the water, like cooling your reactors with that. They're like,
what are they gonna do? They're aquatic. They're gonna they're blowhole us.
Yeah.
Way to squirt me. Fuck you. Shut up, your blowhole.
Just walk to like the edge of the ocean. You just walk to the edge of the ocean.
I can summarize what I'm learning here. Your ideal race is a race of cowardly, like kind of keep to themselves. They have a lot of stuff, but they don't really like defend it very well. You know what you're saying is the easily bullied would be the ideal. Like,
oh, I don't know. They had a good reason to come here. We just fuck them up. They're eating all our fish. Well, they must be hungry. Just fucking stupid nonsense. That's what we need to hope for. A bunch of retards living with fins. They can't have fingers. So that can get tricky.
They can pull triggers with fingers. Definitely want to be finned.
Yeah, they want to be finned. They should be little, very dumb, and they should have one kind of like special skill that's useful for us.
Telepathy.
That's where I was going. Or empaths.
Yeah.
Which is just shitty telepathy.
Woody, are you kidding me?
What?
You know how bad that
Maybe
would
they're
be?
great cocksuckers.
You know how bad it would be?
I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah, that might feel
They're
right.
always wet.
Don't want them to read our minds. There's no way that ends well for us as a species if we like approach another species and we're like, we're invading your planet, and then they can read our minds and how.
Oh, I just checked his mind again. He's still thinking about killing us.
His thoughts every 3 seconds are sex, porn, death. Right? And it's just like a loop.
Well, that would incentivize the human race to get rid of them. It's like, do you want these little fish people knowing what you beat off to? No! Get them out of there! Yeah. Then we scoop them up, and then they'd probably be like some really essential part of the ecosystem, and we're already on the way to turning it into Earth too.
Yeah, we'll get a third and fourth. That's what I say.
That's right.
I got no problem with that. I got no problem with
Our
this.
first conquest of another planet is just the start. We're learning how to do it. Learning how to really exploit those resources.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with a friend not long ago, but like it was 66 years, I'm pretty sure, from the Wright brothers flying for the first time to putting a man on the moon. 66 years.
Wow.
That is not a long time. Like that's a life, And since then, since 1969, what do we have? Some like telecom advancements?
No, I think no. Do not downplay. It is incredible that we put a man on the moon allegedly with 64 what is it? 64 kilobits of RAM, or like literally like a Game Boy, right? And don't quote me on that because it's probably off.
less.
But but basically with some bullshit. And now like my cell phone is so much better, etc. While we haven't done anything that is I should say is
in the physical realm.
In the physical realm, as incredibly monumental seeming, the telescope that we just put out, the one that James Webb is like the pinnacle of human engineering for the last 20 years. It like the deployment, the way that they've got it out there, the amount of different like points of failure that they've got, the way that it's operating now. Like like 2004.
I saw that it was geosynchronous in the Earth's shadow.
Yeah, in the Earth's shadow to make sure that it doesn't wash out the telescope. Like, images.
When did they get first images from that? Like when are we gonna see stuff?
I actually don't. I mean,
is it gonna stay near Earth? It's not like
it's in it. It's locked.
Did the Hubble leave? Am I right about that? The Hubble like just goes farther and farther. Maybe I'm thinking of the Voyager or something.
No, the Voyager goes further and further. I think the Hubble just got decommissioned, or they're not gonna need it after this.
So the space telescope is like closer than the moon, but that Voyager thing is like it left the solar system a couple years ago.
That one's just radio signals. We're just like we just chucked that shit and we were like, hey, call back, send us text messages.
I made a mistake. I conflated them, but James Webb is just gonna stay nearby in the Earth's shadow, taking pictures.
Taking photos of the most absurdly high quality. It's like a 3 or 5 mirror system or whatever, where it bounces in, bounces off, bounces in, bounces off, and then what I asked was, does that mean that we're gonna get incredible HD photos of every planet, right? Like, I love seeing deep space stuff, but like I also want to see the shit around us in higher detail. And while the answer is like yes, it can, they're not going to focus it on Jupiter. Like that's just not what they're down to do with this thing. They're going to do, you know, that famous photo of like, we focus the Hubble in this blank square for 1 week, and here's that. They're going to do more stuff like that and more high quality of things that were just in like tiny dots of light.
They're looking for the origins of the universe.
They're trying to see. This will let us see further than we've ever even remotely seen before, to the point where they're like, we might hit it. We might hit the render distance of the universe with.
They've already hit the render distance of the universe.
Have they? With like
with what we have?
Yeah, so I'm just cool. It's just gonna be great, but the fact that
I like
it all
describing
worked
it as the render distance, like a Minecraft sort of like.
We're all gamers, baby.
No, it's good. It works for me.
That's because it's a lot harder for anyone to explain or understand space expanding and what that actually means.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
What is it expanding into?
Because as a child, I thought that just meant everything was flying away from each other in a big void, but what it means is that the void is growing.
Yeah.
The void itself, the void between every object is growing. Space is expanding.
The only thing that I wish that we gain more knowledge on is like I just want more perspective on the infinitesimally large space like universe stuff. It's so hard to like look at anything that somebody writes or types or says and then be able to conceptualize what they mean, because every single time it just boils down to like, yeah, that's pretty big. I just can't. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's little steps that are big to engineers. But as like a guy on the ground here, I want to see us punch a fucking alien or like step on Mars or what
I want to see us get on Mars. Yeah.
Yeah, what I would have them do with that space telescope is, like you said, like stuff in our solar system, especially like the places we think there might be life under ice, like on those moons. And what I really want them to do is just find a planet, like find the closest planet outside of our solar system, and show me the best image you can do of that.
How far away is that?
I don't know.
The closest habitable planet or the closest?
No, just a planet, period. Just a rock outside of our solar system. Show it to me.
I want to
know what color it is.
You know what? I'm gonna go a step further and say that what I would really enjoy is, because I know we have the tech and the capability to do so, especially now with the relays that we have. I want to live stream from people on the moon, and I also want to watch it in HD right now on the Earth, and I want to see you big ass bright light strobing at the moon. I want to look back. I want to see it.
I want to be able to donate to make the astronaut do things.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Gamify it.
Yeah. like if that shit's not on Twitch the next time a person's on the moon and he's not like responding to chat, then I don't want to live.
Pussy Slayer 72 donated $5 to NASA. Says,
Stream ends in disaster once NASA enables.
Nerd, 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 nerd.
Text
nerd,
this
nerd,
means
nerd.
777.
I would like to go back to the moon.
We are
there's
here on
a-
the moon, and GamerBoy69, I will not say that.
I was going to talk about the fucking UFO like footage that keeps coming out from like the Navy and the Air Force is really fascinating to me.
I saw the one debunked one. It's green.
There's so many. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that anything got. I didn't know anything got debunked, but I see like
Is there a
Congress being
video
briefed
you
on
can
it.
point to?
There's
There-
lots of videos.
There's a
what,
green.
like
So there's a green one. It's through night vision, and there are triangles sort of moving around in like a weird way, and they pulse a little bit, and like it just doesn't look like anything we've seen. And the government came out and said it was a UFO, which doesn't mean aliens; it means unidentified flying aircraft or object. So the internet sees it, and this guy is like, I know exactly what this is. This is unfocused bokeh. And he recreates it exactly. He's like, these are what stars look like when it's not focused. When I think it's called the iris of the camera is triangular. You know, they'd open and close it to change how much the light is, or for the speed, whatever. And he's like, when it's out of focus and it's triangular, all the stars look like triangles. Airplanes look like triangles. This one's blinking. That's because it's an airplane. And they even identified which plane it was, like based on like the time and location that it was shot, going by, blinking, and it's just an unfocused blinking triangle because that's what happens when you have a triangular iris. It was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
this is from 3 days ago. This is not
the one I'm talking about, but carry on.
Yeah, this is some sort of flying object that eventually. I think this might be the one that disappears into the water at one point, like goes underwater and then comes back up. It's I don't know. They're following it with fucking aircraft, like Air Force aircraft.
Yeah,
Oh no, this is from the Navy ship. This is
That always adds a certain credibility to me when it could
know
be a
it's not
Navy
doctored.
pilot, or it could be even like a commercial airline pilot. Like these are serious people at work. They're not rednecks drinking.
Those
at
are
a
those guys who've been
campfire.
trained to look at like a radar signature or even like the outline of a plane and identify it. Those guys are like trained to do that.
They look at the sky all the time. They know it's normal, you know. And so when I'll just say a naval aviator says this is something weird. Oh, well, that's something different than Woody at a campfire seeing something weird.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Or
And this one
maybe
hasn't
just
been
some
explained.
Or maybe just some video that gets uploaded and you're like, all right, who doctored this? How was this filmed? Where was it filmed? Like, is this even CGI? Like, what am I looking at? But when you've got something that's got like, it's from a naval aircraft or ship or something, it definitely adds some credence to it.
It'll be up to Congress to get to the bottom of this. All right, we'll never know.
Yeah, that's top comment. They're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's absurd.
Well, I was looking at this report on this, and some research said that it's most of the triangular ones are the new version of the drone, the jet powered drone that has stealth and is built in. It's invisible because it has a camera and it projects. It projects what's above it, below, and so basically it's invisible to the human sight. Look it up. It's a next generation drone that's being launched off of naval carriers right now. And he was talking specifically about that video where it comes in the water, out of the water. It was actually, they were testing the stealth systems on this particular new drone. It's a new camera. It might be the Icarus. Check out maybe it's called the Icarus invisible drone or something.
That one I know. This is the one I was talking about, the most recent one I linked. And I'll play it real quick. You can see on the screen, but people watching can, this sort of blinking triangle. And then he shows what the night vision thing that it was recorded through looks like and another way to create it. And he uses that equipment and makes more of it. But yeah, if it's out of focus and you have a triangular opening like that, you get this UFO image. So we'll see what comes of it. I don't know. It's exciting to think there could be aliens visiting
I hope.
us.
It's like, yeah. You know, come on. Wouldn't it be great to meet somebody with a flying saucer? I mean, come on. It's like a ghost. I mean, wouldn't you love to meet a ghost? Hey, wait a minute. Tell me, are you dead? What's it like on the other side? You know,
I feel like I'd regret it if there were aliens. Like, if I could choose whether or not there were aliens and I said yes, I would be throwing a Molotov cocktail on society. And there are some people who think that's a great idea. There are some people who are just like, yeah, fuck it. I don't like society. Let's throw a Molotov cocktail on it and see what the next version's like. Who cares? But me, I'm like, no, this is cool. This is cool. I like what we got here. I don't want to throw a Molotov cocktail on society, but I can't deny that it's interesting. I can't deny that I do kind of want to know what happens if there's aliens. Right?
Yeah, I'm with you. I wish, I think that'd be really cool if aliens landed, fucking went on YouTube.
That would destroy the cost of Bitcoin.
They became the best. They became the biggest TikTokers, like fucking Xenu and the boys.
Right.
Like,
turns out that like when they talk, it sounds a little like a kazoo, and people just go wild for it.
Yeah. That'd be pretty fucking cool. That's how you would like make yourselves known instead of like trying to like go to the White House or the Kremlin or something. You just make a TikTok. You just make a TikTok introducing yourself to humanity.
TikTok's controlled by the Chinese. I don't believe it. You got to put it on Twitter for me to buy it.
It'd be you could do it on Twitter too.
It'd go everywhere.
Yeah, they'd have the most followers right away.
Yeah. Well, I think you put it on Reddit, extra mile. Put it there. It's going to get a lot of observations.
I would catch it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's probably government technology that's a generation or two ahead of what we're aware of. That's looking ridiculous, and I think that's probably what we're seeing because I don't know. I don't think that aliens are able to come here, and if they were, I don't think they'd just be flying around.
I don't know. They're obeying the Prime Directive.
Well, if they're from like the Star Trek universe, then they are, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Although they are revealing themselves to us.
You think we just made that stuff up, Kyle?
I'm pretty sure Gene Roddenberry just made that shit up.
I have a question, Woody.
Yeah. Michelin would sponsor.
Did you watch Three Body Problem?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I liked it, and I felt like I liked it partly because of my bias, right? I say I read the books. I listened to the books. I was into it. I think I understood. It was easy for me to follow because I had a structure already. But my expectations were super high. I feel like the Three Body Problem source material could be there with Game of Thrones on its best day and Breaking Bad and such. And I didn't walked away like, man, I hope this is season 2. What did you think?
No.
Go.
No. I thought you were talking to me because I was like Breaking Bad. Oh, that's a gay porno.
It was just a verbal typo.
I know, but it's funny for me. It's how my little brain works.
Okay.
Did you watch Three Body Problem, Kyle?
No. I know the whole story by because there's a YouTuber that I like a lot who has made tons and tons of. I think it's Oliver Explains or something like that. I hate to get it wrong, but he. I
love YouTube videos like that, by the way.
He's a black gentleman, and he has a great channel. He explores sci-fi series, and I watched hours and hours of him explaining Three Body Problem from beginning to end. And basically, because I decided I don't like the way that story ends. In fact, I don't like the middle of that story, and I don't love the beginning.
When I read those books, where the story goes and where it ends up, I was like, "Holy shit, we're here!" Like. The thing when I like
not for me.
You brought this up, Woody, and I use this all the time when you say that you have the minimum system requirements to understand that book. I felt that way too, and in fact, I feel like I was really pushing my graphics card a bit. My graphics card was below the minimum. I was a bit under, but I would read things in that book and be like, okay, I'm just going to keep reading. I'm going to assume what I read is not what I'm picturing, because that's crazy, and I'm just going to read ahead. But then watching the show, I was like, so yeah, it was exactly what I thought. Like them describing the countdown on the eyes was I'm like, so it's basically a countdown in the eyes is what I'm imagining. And when I was imagining how they were like in the VR world and how they were making like a computer with the signs, and I was like, this is weird. Or making the sky blink. I'm like, it's not literal. Because it would talk about scientific stuff and then it would get like spiritual because the guy loved like computer science, but he was also like Buddhist or something. And like, so the story did all this shit where sometimes I'm like, oh, is this like a translation? This is like I'm picturing something different. So watching the movie was so cool to be validated on these things where I was like, okay, so I kind of was picturing what it was. And then there were some aspects to it that I'm like I always found the wall facer aspect to be really compelling in the book. I love that story. I thought even just an isolated, it was all about the wall facer and their experience and that's it. But these guys, the Game of Thrones boys, they're so big and they are good at making people talking interesting. And then you couple that with some of the crazy scenes like the nanofiber wire and the boat, which like when I pictured it, I was like, is this as fucked up as I'm imagining it? Because it comes out of nowhere in the book, and then in the show, it actually comes out of nowhere again. And you're like, that's fucking crazy. And the concepts of it and the stuff, it was validating to see it. And although a lot of the characters I don't remember exactly because a lot of them are Chinese names, and so they're not memorable to me, and they would mold together. The characters that they made, they took like some characters from like book 2 and kind of they mixed it up and they mixed people together and they made a different cast. But the cop. Is that Benedict Wong? That's exactly what I pictured when I was reading the book. Yeah. That's exactly the guy, and that character was such an easy person to understand. I felt like, oh, I can.
It's like the only non-genius in the book.
Exactly, and he's like, and it's like a cop could read a book or tell me a story about a detective and why things are, and I'm like, that's easy to track. And so I loved that book, and I always loved. When I read the book, one thing that like stuck with me was that when he's like you know at a certain point the aliens are like, you're bugs, we're gonna squish you like bugs. And then when he has that moment where he drives them out to where the locusts are and he's like, look at this, look at all the bugs around us. He's like, we all have insecticide, we all spray it all over the place, we think about different ways to do it, we burn their nests, we have fly swatters next to our desks, but no matter what, these bugs are fine. If we're bugs, we'll be fine. And I was like, oh, that's such like the whole concept is so like demotivating because it's like, you're fucked. You can't even do science anymore. You're fucked. And then that sentence, which I thought maybe it came in late. I think it came in later, but they messed up the order of stuff. So I don't know. But that sentence always stuck with me. I was like, oh, what a great thing. 'Cause I remember being defeated reading the book, being like, okay, so what, we're just going to get our asses kicked the whole time here? But saying that was interesting. And they ended with that. And I found that I was also validating again because I was like, I enjoyed that line in the book. So did you.
Covered in the show was good and interesting, necessary, of course. But the part of the story that really captured my attention was what's the name of the 3 people they have to like make a secret plan?
The wall facers?
Are they the wall facers? Who's the guy that the sword
where he's
holder?
like, I don't want to be a wall facer, and then
okay,
like,
well then I'm conflating wall facer. Who's the guy who like has his finger on the destroy button?
Sword holder.
Okay, I conflated wall facer with sword holder. The wall facers, what they do and what their plans are and how they're going to put this together. That was really. I'm like, all right. You're outmanned and outgunned in 1,000 different ways, but you can lie. And
so interesting. We could lie. It's such a concept that
if people don't know, and the aliens that are attacking us, they communicate telepathically and they read each other's minds. It's kind of like a mental collective. So there is no concept of lying. They weren't even familiar with what lying could be. And but humans, of course, are intimately familiar with lying. It's almost part of normal daily life, right? Like at some level. So your only advantage is that you can lie and behave dishonestly. So how are you going to take that and beat these guys?
Because they're watching us.
Yeah, so, and they have like, I'm trying to think, one guy, I think in the movie, the TV show, they changed it a bit, but one guy was like this leader of the Nicaraguan rebels who beat a much superior army, and they're like, okay, you're one of the wall phasers because you've sort of proven that you can do this. When you're outmanned and outgunned, but clever enough, you can win. You're a guy. I forget who the other one was, maybe an American general or something. And then this random dude, for no fucking reason, particularly, he's a genius, but he's never motivated or met his potential. And they're like, we want you too. And he turns it down. Anyway, the whole concept.
He turns it down, by the way. He turns it down, and he's like, yeah, I'm not doing it. And they're like, great plan. He's already working. He's like, no, seriously, I'm literally doing nothing. They're like, of course you are.
You tell it so well. I appreciate it. But that aspect, and by the way, that dynamic, right? Like, I think there's a part later where that guy, he's like, you know what? I want you to build me a mansion on top of a mountain. And
yeah,
like, okay.
I'm excited for all this season.
I don't see where that's going, but you get it. And he's like, you know what I kind of need? There's a $15 million bottle of wine on a sunken ship. I'd like that. And they're like, I don't understand your plan. He's like, I'm a wall facer. You don't question my plan either, do you?
No one's allowed to question him of anything.
See, I hate that. The YouTube channel is called Quinn's Ideas. It turns out I was way off, but just like knowing the whole story basically from a few hours of him telling it and really speeding through it, I'm sure. I like the idea of the wall facers. I like the idea that you pick these people to come up with these plans and you don't say no to them. You just, whatever they say goes, because if they told us the plan, the aliens are listening, but they, I like that. I really love the one plan the guy has. He puts himself, he's like, put me in cryo sleep. This star system over here, if anything happens to that star right there, you wake me the fuck up and let me know. And then he beams that star's location out just to everybody. And that's awesome. I love that. Everything else, especially the ending and like where humanity goes and how humanity declines.
Reading the book, I agree with you. I felt that part was great because it was easy to imagine. And some of the concepts are so high level sci-fi, like reading about like a computer from the fifth dimension that could be folded up into a proton to be shipped to Earth to unfold and then stop all progression of science by messing with physics is like a concept that I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right.
But then you see it in action and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I worry. I'm like, I would love a season 2. I'm like, but people that watch Game of Thrones aren't gonna watch this and be like, well, I love it. Like, I thought it was so good.
Do you you did like it? You thought Three Body Problem was?
I thought it was so good. I was like, but also I'm biased like Woody. When you read 3 books of a thing and you're seeing it get turned to life in a sexier way than what your brain was probably doing, I'm like, I know this. Like, I'm watching a thing and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. If they do what I think they're gonna do, and then it happens, you're like, is that crazy? I knew it because I read a book.
There's
like, you get like
what I loved about Three Body Problem though was not the unrequited romance story of the love of the nerd and the girl and the this and the that. And I'm like, that's half the screen time. Maybe something
making
like that.
them people, making them care about like us care about the people, because in the book, like you end up getting so far from the people that initially were.
I didn't really give a fuck about any individual people.
Well,
I gave a fuck about the population.
And the big picture, right? But a TV show doesn't have that benefit. That's why they did this character thing, because these characters. By the way, to everyone listening, this book, like, I don't want to. I might spoil it, so mute me for 4 seconds. This shit goes like thousands of years into the future.
Millions.
Trillions?
Yeah. It goes like, it's like,
and we lose.
It goes hundreds of years. It goes hundreds of years, and then like thousands of years, and like, and
we get to be cattle in Australia for a small period of time, but then we're just folded up into one dimension or two. I don't remember which.
I think in the book originally, but there's 10 dimensions, and the fact that we know of 3 means that we just sort of missed the collapsing of the first 7, and then it drops to 2 and to 1, and then there's like micro universes and micro black holes, a concept I really struggled to get my head around.
So many, as the books go on,
humanity
there
loses.
Are concepts that are like, yeah, but even then, before it loses, like the people that you were with are like, it's 400 years later, and it's like fucking weird. And they're describing things, or like the guy whose brain's on the rocket ship. Like, there's just things that it's like, no wonder it goes to the Game of Thrones guys.
Human brain, like they've got a human brain, And then like you learn what the aliens are, and they're fucking stupid. They're like cockroach sized or some shit.
But we
like,
never see them. They're never physically described enough in the book, really, at all. You never. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they'll handle that.
In the story, Harley mentioned it briefly. There's this cryosleep concept, and it becomes a thing that's accessible to the wealthy. So it almost means that if you're wealthy, you are able to teleport to the future. Because cryosleep is available. So poor people just have to live with whatever era they were born. Wealthy people can be like, you know what, I'm going to roll the dice and see what it's like 100 years from now. Right? Maybe my investments will have gone bonkers and society will be heaven. And let's see what that's like.
7%. Like, I mean, do 100 years. Let's go.
Yeah, right? But you could wake up and find out there's an apocalypse and be like, bad bet.
Or maybe your like ex-wife didn't make your freezer payments or something, and they thaw you out in a bad time. The market's real bad. Why'd you wake me up?
Somehow that particular thing, being able to teleport to the future, essentially felt really profound to me, and how it would separate the haves from the have-nots in a way that would like 1,000 times more than we have today.
And even when they described stuff in the book, because I was always like, am I picturing this right? This sounds really fucking bad. So like, I'm excited to see how they'll do it. Because the thing about
season 2?
I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, they do fucking Lord of the Rings season 2, so they better do this shit.
Yeah, it's a fucking kill. I'm telling you. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If we had some green men to fucking stomp out, it would unite this whole planet. You wouldn't be worried about whether someone was black, brown, yellow, red, or white. Because there'd be a green motherfucker that's not even from here. And there's no fucking group to defend them. There's they got no acronym society to protect their asses. You can go full speciesist on those green pieces of shit, those reptilian fuckers that are coming down from planet 8174B. And it doesn't matter. You can make like crazy cartoons of them and put them on posters. You can be like,
you can take those insect people and make them look unattractive.
You can do whatever you want to them. You can torture them. You can fucking burn them alive in the streets.
Well, they're going to want a war with us if this happens. But my question is, what if they show up and they look a ton like Chinese people? Like just happenstance of the universe. They show up and they even like, oh, we not know you already arrived. Why you not send message? They're like, oh no, we've been here the whole time. Like, there ain't no way. You're not from Cyclone Tree? You're not from Cyclone Tree? We've been from Cyclone Tree. We never been here. We know you different. Oh, we call this China. It's like, oh, we stay in China. You rule this whole place? No, not even close. A lot of white folk, black folk, Mexican folk. We don't care for them anymore. Like, that's what it would be. And then we'd all have to gang up against the newfound Chinese alien alliance. And that is what I'm pitching next week to Pixar.
I think they'll pick it right up. I like it. I'm more interested in this than I am in Infinity War 2. War of the Worlds.
It's not that they have similar ways of speaking. It's identical. It's very confusing, the whole movie.
They're flying their spaceship with a goddamn abacus. They're absolutely just Chinese aliens. All right, I like that.
You guys invent gunpowder first too on your world? Yeah, we do that too. You stay. Like,
that'd be a problem. We'd have to wipe them all out.
I mean, the aliens would give them high-tech technology, and we'd all have to band together to fight off the aliens and the Chinese, who would have already had the infrastructure and everything ready for like assault and whatnot. I don't have very high hopes for the rest of the world versus China and aliens, depending on how powerful.
I like to think that like they played this game of civilization by focusing all their efforts on one line on the tech tree. Like they've got interstellar travel, but they suck at pottery and gunpowder.
White waste coin, social skill, no reason. Shut up. Get on the ground and walk away from me.
So we actually have a shot at them. All they could do is arrive here.
Yeah, there's a what's that? There's a I think it's a mini series called Alien Nation, and the premise is this giant spacecraft shows up, I think over Los Angeles. I mean, it's enormous. And it turns out that it's a slave ship, and all of the aliens on it are slaves. I think they had overthrown their like masters, who were like the real overlord type aliens. And we have to integrate
all of these slave aliens into our society, and it's sort of it's sort of meant to sort of mirror the racism that we're actually seeing in our society with this influx of new people and their different weird ways and how that would work. So, you know, one of them becomes a cop, and it follows several of these aliens, and they're pretty alien looking. You know, they're bipedal, like 2 arms, 2 legs, but they got like this big melon of a head with spots on it. And like their erogenous zone isn't on the front, it's on the back. So like a back massage to them is like finger banging them or something like that.
Nice.
But they don't mind the front. So like, that's like a back massage to them. And it's so funny to see the dynamic between like the human and the female alien. He's like, you want a back rub? She's like, no, we aren't there yet. And he's like, what about your front? She's like, yeah, whatever. It's pretty fun.
What was the show called?
Alien Nation, I think. Alien Nation, I want to say. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's probably pretty fucking dated by now and looks like shit, but when I saw it, it looked fine. I hope we get to see aliens in my lifetime. That would be incredible to meet up with some intelligent alien life.
That could be either incredible or really, really terrible.
Either way, I'm up for a change.
No, but like, dude, if they're advanced enough to fly here on like interstellar space travel and all that, like that's the same as us finding a new planet and being like, look at this. It's just nothing but a bunch of cats, I guess. Well, I guess we're gonna take it over. What should we do with the cats? I don't care. Kill them and make them into scarves, whatever. Like that, we'd look at it the same way. You know, like they're gonna show up, and be like, their pyramid. They're really proud of that. Jesus Christ! Like, and then they'd massacre us.
You would hope not. I've heard a lot of really smart people talk about, you know, what would happen and what the idea. You know, I've heard Stephen Hawking talk about it.
I appreciate the compliment.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson. And then I've heard some fools talk about it.
Hey,
sort of embarrass themselves. But no, I don't care. I don't care if they want a war or if they want to like give us technology. I just want it to happen. I'd be down either way, right? And I like to imagine that you know, like the Little Dicky song, like would they just wipe us out, or would they be like, damn, Earth go hard? Like maybe they've been living like a peaceful pussy existence for their entire evolution, and the whole warfare thing doesn't even occur to them, and they come down here and maybe they don't even have a weapon. They have no weapons whatsoever. They don't even have sticks. And we just beat the shit out of them and take all their technology. That'd be great.
I mean, that would be ideal, but they'd also probably like have the capacity to build weapons.
Oh, they wouldn't figure it out by the time we're way at. We just fucking GTA, motherfucker, and take their spaceships away from them.
Well, they're gonna send more. They're gonna go,
bring
hey,
bring it. They'll have crossbows by the time they get here. Maybe. I don't know. We are like there's no way to know, you know, but. We are a race of people, a species of people that are about warfare. It is in our blood 100%. None of us, me, you, or Woody, we wouldn't be here if our ancestors hadn't fought a number of wars throughout time, whether you're talking about World War I or World War II, or the war of the cave clans in the year
Cro-Magnons, right?
Yeah, like there was definitely a point. Yeah. There was definitely a point where like there was a cave over there, and our people were in this cave, and there was only one fucking source of water, and we killed them all with clubs and rocks, and now that's our water, so we got to pass our genes on, and that's why you and I and Woody exist, because our ancestors were the biggest, baddest, smartest motherfuckers that existed in the valley, so they were able to wipe out all of the Cro-Magnons or the Hobbit people or any other group of humans or monkeys or apes or wolves or saber-toothed tigers or whatever they had to fight off and kill to get here. We're about as millions of years have led to us.
Yeah, we are the coolest species on Earth, and it's not even close. Like if they were if an alien showed up and they were doing like a stack ranking, a power ranking, the AP top 25 of species on this new planet, we're the Alabama. We're roll Tide. We're Alabama of the college football world in terms of animals. We're number one. It doesn't even get close.
AP coaches poll, everything.
And it looks like the AP poll where it's like 62 votes for one Alabama. Oh, well, one alien chose sharks, and that's it. Okay, well, that's it. Like what would come second? Like, oh, an octopus. That's neat. It changes color. Maybe? Yeah, a dolphin maybe. It depends what they value. Like, what if they just think that flying is neat?
Like, well, the ants outnumber them 50-1.
Yeah, like 1,000,000 to 1. Yeah.
I mean, if you value athleticism, some of those sea creatures are pretty awesome.
We can fly. We can go to space. We can launch things 5-6 times the speed of sound. We can blow up an entire continent. We are it. We're it.
We can make flat screen TVs.
And that's what would happen, by the way, if they show up with some pussy shit. If they come down here and they're a bunch of like fucking pussy ass amphibious creatures and they're like walking around with big globes of water on their head, we're gonna wipe them the fuck out. They see a sword and they're like, what's that? They see a gun and they have no concept. Well, we use it to fire projectiles at our enemies at 3 times the speed of sound, and it just destroys them. And they're like, what's an enemy? That doesn't work in the universal translator. What is enemy? And they're like, oh, we're gonna show you.
You are my enemy. That if they travel to here, we are so uninteresting to them. Like if we went to Mars and there were only ants there, like when humans traveled from place to place, they didn't stop and try and communicate with ants on the edge of Portugal. They just said, there's nothing here. This place bullshit. You know, like that's what they would do to us. They'd be like, oh, they communicate by meat flapping and saliva in their mouths? This is disgusting. You know, like they don't even have radio clickers in their brains or telepathy or however it is that they communicate. And they would just find us completely uninteresting and wipe us out the way that we do routinely. What if they're here? I heard this proposed recently, right? Now.
Ooh, what if they're here already? I like this.
So if there was like a superhighway or city and like emerging next to an anthill, that anthill would barely even understand that cool shit is happening around them. They don't get it. Their world is so small. They don't see what's happening. There could be some fourth dimension. There could be something that these big guys exist in, and we are just dumb ants who don't understand the wavelength that they operate on.
That could be, but they're probably not able to see us either. I definitely believe in like trans-dimensional beings. I think that.
What's that mean?
I think that there are many infinite universes stacked right on top of and within one another, and every possibility that there exists in those. There's an infinite number of them, and that if we could pierce that veil, we could go to one of them.
Because it's not what it appears, as always.
Could it be aliens? Are you saying it's aliens again? Taylor believes in aliens.
Do I? I do. More than anything. More than anything, I believe in them.
All right, I believe in them then.
We know you do. You're all about it's because it's your greatest fear, being molested by an alien.
Dude, it is my biggest fear, being molested by aliens. It's genuinely all right. Like I don't want to burn alive or whatever in an upturned car because my lower body doesn't work from the impact. Like that's pretty shitty. But I really don't want aliens, especially the ones from Fire in the Sky. Those ugly gray aliens with their open mouths and their dark, black, unfeeling eyes to like experiment and vivisect me on a fucking sci-fi table. That is one of my biggest
I feel like this is almost a little arrogant and bordering on narcissistic. Like they have a whole planet of people to molest, and you think you're the belle of the ball here?
In the 90s, everybody was getting scooped up. You don't remember. You were too young. It was a scary time, Taylor. It was
a scary time. You're 4.5 years older than me.
Man can learn a lot in 4.5 years.
You can learn a lot. I was only 2, but Kyle was a wizard.
Those were
6.5
years, boy, I tell you. That was in the era when Fox would have a special every Friday night about alien abductions and cattle mutilations. Do you remember cattle mutilations?
I remember
crop circles.
Somebody was actually going around fucking with cows, which is the awful part. Like somebody's out there burning cows with lasers and shit and draining their blood. Some weirdo in fucking Oklahoma. But they blame it on the aliens, and they'd have this 30-minute special, and I'm 12 or something, and I'm just like, holy shit, it can't all be fake. I remember that's exactly what I thought. I was like, there's no way you can do 30 minutes a week of complete bullshit. Some of this is real. And I got that in my head. And
I have it on good authority.
Then I watched the X-Files.
You can do 4 hours a week of complete bullshit, Kyle.
You can do 4. You can.
It's like 7-year-old Kyle's Occam's razor. It's like, all right, if half of this is true and half of it's bullshit.
That was exactly it. Then it's so scary. But if half of it's true, then they're coming for us.
I've never
They're
been
coming
spooked
for
by
us.
aliens.
No,
It's never been a.
There's no
fear of
defense
mine.
against them.
Yeah, but I just feel like I am so not interesting enough to be taken by an
There's-
alien.
All right, so a good movie, an okay movie came out like last year, the year before, and it's an alien is in this lady's house. It's like a home intruder, but it's an alien, and she's fighting the alien Home Alone style.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
I can't remember the name. It was pretty fucking good.
It was pretty all right. She had it like she had dead under
It
like
was
a fucking
Signs.
rug or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
wow.
like she kills it at the end. I think maybe it has yellow blood. It was cool. It because I genuinely fear those gray aliens from the X-Files. I just watched too much of that shit as a kid. I was 7 or 8 watching the X-Files, and that shit was scary, dude. I'm still a little afraid they'll come get me.
They won't get you.
They're
It'll be
not
fine.
real.
They just
Yeah, they're
abduct
not-
you like
They
Kyle,
might
stay
be.
the line. Hello, my friends.
I'll say whatever the fuck they want. I'll say
I
whatever
think
they
we
want.
have the.
You get
most
abducted by
advanced
illegals. It's going to be Pedro and Enrique.
Oh my god, is it that Tim Allen movie where the aliens have been watching my YouTube videos? They just got to him. And they think I'm a warlord and they need me to fight their battles for them. Could we do that?
That's
That'd
what
be
you
a
wanna
fun
do?
alien abduction. Yeah, well, I mean, they'd be better than a vivisected experiment, right?
Fair. Yeah.
Let's
they're
see
much
what
better.
happens when we cut his butthole in half.
He hates it.
And the other guy looks at him and goes, "They always hate it."
I'm gonna be shitting like an elite from Halo.
They always hate it.
Sir, I
With
don't
his
mean
fucking
to be a
crazy
drag, but we're not learning anything. Shut up. Put him on the table. Your asshole's next up.
So fucking scary.
Yeah. As if they couldn't just give us a bzz, little remote scan with their space age technology and immediately know all our info.
Is that what we do to dogs at the veterinarian clinic? We just immediately give them a $5,000
I tell you,
MRI.
if we
No,
had the
stick fingers
technology,
up their asses.
if we had the technology to fly trillions of space years to go to another planet and then just pick people up on a lark, because imagine these aliens that would be coming here and doing this slapshot job. These are hobbyists. They're not even part of the alien government.
Taylor,
they're just
we can-
futzing around. Like if we did that, we'd put a dog in a scanner. We already have scanners
We
you can
don't-
put animals in.
You're see, here's the problem. You're imagining that they sent their best. That this is like their equivalent of a fucking astronaut. No. This is
That's
like
the
a
opposite of what
hillbilly
I just
alien.
said.
This is like a hillbilly alien.
That's the complete opposite of what I just said. I said that they were they're hobbyist retards who are like, let's go on down to Earth and just look at someone's ass.
Taylor,
Like,
you keep saying these are their scientists.
These
It's
are
not
their
like
scientists.
that.
You're just wrong. You're just wrong.
Trump would be out there being like, they're not scientists. They're
not-
the worst.
They're not sending the best.
They're not sending their best from Zyklon 6. They're
If
the
I
worst.
went to some other planet and discovered another like life, what am I looking for? Another life, and there were like certain holes in it, holes on the blowholes on the top or whatever, I'd definitely spend special attention on those holes.
See what's in there. What do they do with that hole?
But
What can I do with that hole?
It seems like the least invasive way to see what's inside them. You probe it.
See, but that's the
Maybe-
thing.
all
This
right,
is what we would do is the analog of us in this alien society, their highest ranking scientists, or is it the retards? It's the
Taylor,
retards.
these people are enlightened enough to legalize. I think they see it as bestiality, maybe, and they're very enlightened, so it's legal on their planet. And,
Boo. Boo.
What?
They're not
What do you-
bigots against goat fuckers. That's a good point.
Woody and I were talking about this just the other day. He agreed with me. I was like, it doesn't make sense. You can enslave them. You can breed them. You can force one to fuck the other. Like you decide which ones fuck. Okay? You can chop them up for meat. You can cut a hole in the side of their digestive system and put a porthole in them so that your children
need
can
it.
reach into their innards anytime they want just to see how you digest cud. You can do all that. You can do all that. We have cooking channel about melting them in various ways. We cook other things in their melted fat. We cook their babies in their fat and then stuff that into their meat.
Yeah.
But you can't fuck them.
I think
You
the
can't
difference
fuck 'em,
is
Taylor.
all of
Why
those
can't you
other
fuck 'em?
things.
What do you
All of
want?
those other things serve a purpose that isn't to come.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
act like coming's not a good reason to do something.
Yeah, but you could go.
You just checkmated yourself, sir.
You can either go get that or jack off like in the snow. Hey, we're probably like 3 cycles from some guy running for president who's like, yeah, we should be able to fuck them. Like, why not? You know,
2032, 2036. Someone's gonna be
President
like,
Catboy, what do you think?
yeah, he's
showing pictures of like human and goat vaginas and their similarities.
Will we finally see VP Fido's real face, or will he be in his his persona?
The sci-fi movie that I crave, or even if it was an anime or anything, just let me see this story. I want the aliens to show up and be like blown away by how well armed we are. I want them to be like, holy shit, there's 50,000 warheads. Yes, sir, they're on the way now. What? Well, there's nothing we can do then. That's it. And then they just all die, and then we harvest their technology. I just want that. I want the beginning of the story to be us just wiping the floor with an alien
Even in
invasion.
sci-fi, that would be
The
far-fetched.
end of the story is a
Is it?
nuclear winter.
Yeah,
in our own population.
We shoot them into
dies.
space. We
it would
don't
have
shoot
to
them
be
down
set.
here.
It would have to be set in the far future, where we're at least somewhat
imagine
peers
this.
to
All right,
aliens.
here's the scenario, because I just realized.
Like,
there's a
would you
second
ever
part.
show up at the, like, if you went to the most vast and impressive termite mound in all of Africa,
Silly
would you be like, wow, billions of these live here? Unbelievable
I don't know,
technology.
that's-
Like,
I think it would be more like
if we're
like
on this
a hipster,
on our
a
planet,
hipster tour group shows up to like a warring race in the Amazon. Like, oh, holy fuck! Wait
that's
a
probably
minute.
what it would actually be. We'd be like a TV
What if
show.
they're
more
li-
than, no, it's
What if they're little, and I've always said, what if they're little ant people? Like they came from one gigantic ant colony where there was no war. Everybody's in a hive mind scenario, so they've never had combat. They never had France and Britain warring with each other for centuries and after centuries, driving the production of firearms technology and all sorts of weaponry. They don't need a lot of guns in space because it's not too crowded. They show up completely unprepared, not even understanding the concept of interspecies war or conflict in general, perhaps. Maybe they've never even had disagreements because of the hive mind. So the idea of having to solve a disagreement with violence that's a step beyond where their minds could even go. But then they show up fucking here wanting all our sugar, and we got so much. And where do they come? USA, baby. They come for the sugar, and we
Heart
take
of
them
the
down.
sugarland.
We take them down. They don't even understand our technology. And the whole planet, Russia too, we launch all of our nukes at their ant spaceships, all of them. We send all the nukes into space at the ant ships, and we completely destroy them. But and in the next day, we realize we just completely got rid of all the nukes. Nobody has nukes anymore. It's a new world. And so we get to live in that future where we've got ant technology, and there's
Damn.
a race.
I
Yeah.
would not watch this movie.
You'd watch a season of it. You'd watch 6
I'd watch a
episodes.
season of it. The ant people have arrived, and they somehow have the most advanced technology ever, and slingshots.
They've got ant drive. That's it. They've got space travel.
But then you get season 2 where we figure out how to weaponize the ant technology, and
No,
we have
the
super
termites
nukes.
show up. The termites were chasing the ants.
You're too
They're
fixated
the
on
warrior
bugs,
species.
Stanley, man. You're so fixated on bugs.
You want them to be monkey people like us? So I want them to be insects.
Yeah, I would like him to be monkey.
The insect life cycle is really neat too. Like imagine if it's a hierarchy of bugs where they kind of like Starship Troopers.
I'll try Mantis at
but
the
more
top, kinda
diverse.
like,
I need
like-
more diversity. I need like millipedes, like running around getting intel and shit. And I need like flying, like fluttery stuff. Like I need a worm boss, like Jabba the Hutt, but he's a big brain worm.
We
Now
could
it's just
defeat their
unbelievable.
society by teaching them racism. Get all the
Ooh, the queen would be
to hate
sexy
this
though.
type of
You
people.
do like a sexy ant queen. Like she'd have human titties inexplicably.
I would want like some sort of insect pope, but he's a mantis, one of the mantis family. That's a very regal.
You guys are getting
type of-
very close to just describing the plot of Halo.
Large mantises are terrifying.
Yeah, a big mantis, and he's the only one that can speak English. Actually, why am I encouraging this? I don't like this idea. I don't like.
All right. Well, I mean,
Like,
you
what if there were
pick
multiple
yourself.
alien species and you had like a prophet of truth or something like that? That was just like an alien bishop.
See, now this seems like it has legs. They could make a 3-game, 5-game series about it.
Yeah, but the Spartans are
Love
stupid. I don't want to do that. I want some little space marine guys. Like
They'd have to all be the same kind of insect. Because I've watched enough of those Japanese videos that if you put like different insects together, they make no bones and waste no time about like
but they've
going to the
maybe-
throat.
But they're intelligent. They've evolved, and like maybe the master race has like some sort of pheromone signaling they can do to control the lesser bugs.
That's kind of fun. I like that.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think the ant people would get the technology except through war with the mantises and the millipedes, right?
I think it's and the
'Cause if they lived in
termites.
peace forever, it would just
The
be
termites
like
are like
living
their
with wolves.
Their arch enemies, the termites. They go at it big time. Yeah, I think the termites spit acid. If that Pixar cartoon was telling me the truth.
Yes, yeah. I remember watching that as a kid and being like, they're marching off to war. Do you remember that part?
Yeah,
in the very beginning, and he's like, "Look out! These guys, spit." Is the guy's voice the same as Putty from Seinfeld? That big ant, or is it?
I think it's Stallone. I think it's Sylvester Stallone.
Be careful, they spit acid, or like whatever. I don't remember who it was. But I remember the big ant.
Watch Rocky, you could do a better Stallone.
I'm never gonna watch it. I don't give a shit about that fucking gay movie. I'm not gonna watch it.
That's right. It's Sylvester Stallone.
It's such a dude. It gets you so pumped, and the soundtrack's so good. Eye of the Tiger, the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of your rival. You're the last known survivor.
Just saying the whole song.
In the dead of the night. All right,
keep going. What was the next line?
I don't know. I gotta sing it to know it.
I gotta sing the whole thing. It's like the ABCs. You can't start in the middle.
Dead of the night. I don't know the rest. No. Yeah, that's a wonderful movie. It won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, and Stallone wrote that shit. It's real good. Like he's not stupid Stallone. He's like a heartfelt character.
No, I know. Ants was good. Ants was good. I liked it.
I didn't like Ants. It was like the bootleg Bug's Life, I think.
I mean, it was, but I was in a mode at that age where like I loved Bug's Life, and also Ants was like an addendum to that.
Movies can do that, right? Like this movie was a D. But since I was the perfect target audience at the time, I gave it a B. That's what what's the third Star Wars movie with the Ewoks? Return of the Jedi, maybe?
Yeah. Return of the Jedi. It was supposed to be Revenge of the Jedi. That would have been.
I was the right age to like Ewoks when that thing dropped. So
I was too. I didn't realize all the hatred for Ewoks because I haven't watched those movies since I was like a kid, and I always thought the Ewoks were kind of fun. I was like, oh man, these things are so cute and they're so fun. I hope they actually help defend the planet. Like I was at the age where like seeing them like bumble around and like trip and AT-AT was like, oh yeah, they're helping, but they're corded shitty rope.
Why did they have that set up? Like they were all ready for this like resistance situation. I'm not gonna have anything to do with Star Wars anymore. I'm not gonna watch any more of the nonsense.
You're so close on Marvel.
I'm done.